Alrighty, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everyone is having a great Thursday so far. Let's see what we have in the stream today. So far we have Marcus, Hoop, Grumpy Grandpa, as well as Caleb. And we also have Edits, Jason, Blue, Jake, Johnny, Rockets, Weather Watchers, Port Arthur, and everyone else who is tuning in who I may have forgotten to welcome, or if you're just now tuning in or may not be chatting, glad to have you in here. Ponderosa, Weather Nerd, let's see here, Random Guy, and everybody else. Let me go ahead and switch on over to our main scene. We're not going to switch over to our coverage scene. We are under a tornado warning, though, actually. We actually have a tornado warning in Omaha, Nebraska right now. Downtown Omaha is inside of a tornado warning. As you can see there, it is a radar-indicated tornado warning for the next 13 minutes. It also has had observed 1.75-inch hail with it as well. So you're looking at some large hail, as well as a potential tornado going through Omaha. Traffic cams did observe a large wall cloud with potentially a funnel. So it definitely has the opportunity to drop a brief tornado if you are in this area. Make sure you are seeking shelter. Outside of that, we have a lot of scattered thunderstorms. Southwest Texas, some scattered thunderstorms. Was severe for about 2-inch hail earlier. That was about not longer than 10 minutes ago. We have a kind of remnant MCS that is still ongoing here from Austin all the way back up to Tyler, Texas. And then we do have a couple severes that have popped up here in extreme northwestern Oklahoma into extreme southwestern Kansas. So we'll keep an eye on those. Also a severe storm back out here just to the southwest of Lincoln in east central Nebraska. For today, we do indeed have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for severe weather centered over Amarillo, Texas. You can see this purple outline here is a tornado watch for the potential of a few tornadoes, 1 or 2 possibly strong, as well as hail potentially as large as 4.5 to 5-inch in diameter hail will be possible tonight, especially if we could get a storm to get going near Plainview. It is definitely possible that we see 4 to 5-inch hail around the Plainview area very, very late tonight. I do want to go ahead and just get rid of that tornado watch so that way you guys can see better. So there's that enhanced risk level 3 out of 5 right there. That orange area, which again goes from Amarillo, Texas, back up into almost into extreme northeastern panhandle of Texas there, and then all the way back down towards Lubbock, Texas, Post, Texas, almost into Paducah, Texas, under that enhanced risk for severe weather there. Of course, we have the potential for a couple tornadoes. The 5% tornado risk, in my opinion, I think that 5% needs to go just the smallest bit more southeast to just to include the potential for a conditional strong tornado threat if we can get a supercell going near Plainview, Texas late this evening. But they've decided not to push that 5% to the southeast. Also, some damaging winds could be possible. Even though they don't have a 15% out, I do believe we could see damaging winds between 60 to 70 miles per hour out here around Amarillo, Texas. And then hail is the main reason for that enhanced risk for severe weather today. Like I was saying earlier, we are likely going to see softball-sized hail with the potential of up to 5-inch diameter hail. So probably around the realms of or larger than grapefruit sized hail will be possible today. So extremely, extremely large hail is really expected. We are really expecting 3.5 to 4-inch hail. That is really the expected hazard today. But we are also seeing the potential for up to 4.5 to 5-inch hail. YouTube, yet again, after I cut my computer off for most of the day today, it still says my Wi-Fi is terrible for some reason. Let me see here. Let's see. I wonder what I can do to fix this. Let's see. See what I can do. Oh, yeah, I ain't doing that. I might be able to fix it in my Streamlabs settings, actually. Alright, I'll look for that. I'll look for that. I might be able to fix it in my Streamlabs settings. There may be a setting that is accidentally doubled for some reason, which could cause some buffering, but I don't believe it's a big issue. Not enough for me to end stream and then restart. Tomorrow we do have a marginal risk for severe weather. I think that marginal will be expanded up to the north, and I do think we will see a slight risk, maybe even another enhanced risk for severe weather introduced for tomorrow, which is Friday. Significant uptrends on our afternoon and evening model runs here for the potential of extremely large hail tomorrow as well, potentially up to 4-inch in diameter, as well as for the possibility of a few tornadoes, maybe one strong for tomorrow as well. Same goes for today. And then finally going on into Saturday, I think Saturday at the moment, hope that is the case, I think Saturday will be the least active day for severe weather out of our multi-day stretch for severe weather. I think Saturday has the best chance to do near nothing. Tomorrow, it looks like some models don't initiate thunderstorms along the boundary, so they may not include the unenhanced risk. It seems like it's 50-50. Half our models want storms tomorrow with huge hail. The other half don't even fire a single storm. So we'll pay attention to tomorrow, see if there is a need for the SPC to upgrade to a larger, higher categorical risk. And then that's Saturday's risk right there. Sunday, still no risk outlined from the Storm Prediction Center for Sunday. I don't really see much still with Sunday. We might be able to get a supercell or two to sneak through the cap. And if that happens, we could see a strong tornado or two, specifically along the western portions of our Great Plains, somewhere in here. We could see the conditional risk of a strong tornado or two being possible. It looks like some models agree on southwest Kansas potentially being a hotspot for that highest opportunity. And then, of course, going on into Monday, we do now have a day 5 enhanced risk for severe weather. As expected, we talked about this yesterday. We were expecting them to issue an enhanced risk for severe weather right over this area. I mean, really, if I went to my stream yesterday, I bet we were probably very close to nailing the placement of this enhanced risk for severe weather. I would not be shocked if this ends up going 15 significant tornado risk by day one. That's going to be on Monday. It seems like a very significant setup for the potential of long track strong tornadoes. I said that yesterday. It still holds true that we could see long track strong to potentially an intense tornado going into Monday. You're looking at a large open warm sector with greater than 2,000 instability. Some spots in central Iowa may approach the mid 3,000s for instability in the surface based area. Wind shear, it looks like a widespread amount of 200 0 to 3 kilometer wind shear will be in place. And then, of course, we'll have that lower level jet to help with lower level wind shear. That lower level jet will be between 50 to 65 knots. So really everything still is on track for a big tornado outbreak to be likely in the state of Iowa on Monday. Your dew points, I haven't checked those today. They're still right on track. Widespread 65-degree dew points, with Iowa getting up into the lower 70 dew points. So you're still on track with moisture not being an issue. And due to how kind of subtle the forcing is, it's very obvious on your model runs, but just the way the trough is orientated, it's more of subtle forcing. So that should allow for a significantly higher chance of discrete supercells to clustered supercells. I don't think we will have much of a linear issue here, but we could have like a messier storm mode. That's always possible with any risk. It is always possible you get a messy storm mode, but we'll have to wait until we get closer to our cam models to be able to determine what the storm mode may be. But from just an overall analysis perspective, it should be discrete to semi-discrete. Maybe best case scenario, it is a bit messier to the cluster side of things. We do have some long-range cams, but they aren't very accurate. One of them doesn't even fire a single storm on Monday. So long-range cams are still very experimental. That's funny how it doesn't even fire a single storm at all on Monday. That's crazy. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know why we wouldn't see a single storm on Sunday and Monday. Let's see. I want to go back to Sunday. Yeah, this long-range cam does fire convection on Sunday in south central Kansas, but not on Monday anywhere in our primary risk area. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of the long-range cams. That's a different cam model. That's not the cams like the RFSA, which they recently upgraded to go 84 hours out. This is a different cam model that goes like 120 hours out, which I haven't found it to be accurate, but I still look at it just in case, but I haven't found it to be accurate. So this is Monday. Let's go into Tuesday. Tuesday's risk remains relatively unchanged. Maybe just some small disextensions on the west and the southern side. They did expand it a little bit more into Columbus, Ohio now in it, Cleveland, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. So pretty much half the state, maybe even over half the state of Ohio now under a slight risk for severe weather going on into Tuesday. That's for over 40 million people under a slight risk there. And then for Monday, we have about 47 million people under the gun for severe weather on Monday. So yet another outbreak of tornadoes and overall severe weather is likely going into Monday and Tuesday early next week. And we could also continue that going on into Wednesday. The SPC did note that there is the opportunity and the potential that they highlight a whatever day 15% chance for severe weather on Wednesday. I don't know if they'll do that tomorrow or when, but eventually we may see a 15% chance for severe weather on Wednesday somewhere in this area. You know what? I will give you a more accurate drawing in a second right after this beep, because we got a new tornado warning. It's going to be in northwestern Oklahoma. So let me see the newest runs real quick.
Tornado warning for North Central Harper County in northwestern Oklahoma, Harper County in Oklahoma.
Alrighty, so for Wednesday, yes, it looks like it would be in this area for Wednesday. Maybe a little bit larger. Potentially this whole region here under the gun for severe weather on Wednesday, all the way from central Oklahoma back down towards San Antonio, Texas, under the gun for severe weather on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, that shifts more to the east. Now, there is a lot of uncertainty on it, but it looks like we may have another chance for significant severe weather on Wednesday. Actually didn't realize it till now, but models are actually starting to agree on that. Yeah, we may have another significant threat for severe weather going on into Thursday. And if that is the case, it will be a good chunk of the central U.S. here, all the way up from Ohio back down to Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's a lot of uncertainty on the exact placement and the exact strength of it, but it looks like models are starting to agree more and more on the opportunity of another threat for severe weather going on into Wednesday. And then what I drew here is for Thursday. However, we got to take it one trough at a time. First, we got to get through these mesoscale days today, tomorrow. Saturday's really a break day, and then Sunday's a mesoscale day. May or may not fire off the dry line in southern Kansas. Then we got to get through the big trough on Monday and Tuesday. Then we can start talking about the severe threat, maybe in central Texas, central Oklahoma on Wednesday, and then the wider spread threat being possible on Thursday. But it looks like our ensembles are also hinting towards the opportunity of severe weather on Thursday as well. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. Not as widespread as what I drew there, but here's your GFS ensemble, and you can see it hints towards tornado ingredients still over a very, very large area here going on into Thursday, May 1st. So the very first day or two of May looks to be active, and then I think, fingers crossed, our long-range guidance does show a high pressure building in and potentially halting severe weather for a couple of days in early May after May 1st and May 2nd. So we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, we know how that went this time around. We were talking about that high pressure being in place right now, April 23rd, April 24th. We were talking about a high pressure being in place, and instead we already have an enhanced risk for severe weather for today instead of a good high pressure in place blocking all severe storms. So I wouldn't get your hopes up too much for a very inactive early May. Models shift around a lot. All right, let's go back to up here in east of Omaha. Looks like we could potentially have an unwarned tornado trying to drop down here along the I-80 corridor. Very classic supercell large hail core. Shocked that this is not currently tornado warned. It was tornado warned just about 5 minutes ago. Man, that is a very, very classic area of rotation, likely trying to produce a tornado there. Unwarned east of Omaha, Nebraska, actually into Iowa. That's along I-80 in Iowa for Underwood and Cleveland in southwestern Iowa. That tornado warning in northwest Oklahoma, you can see the reason for that little area of rotation there. Not a very classic supercell, but definitely can make out that this is a very well-defined and strong supercell trying to plant a tornado here just north of Buffalo in northwestern Oklahoma. Back out towards our storms down here, I think the main cell to watch is this one right here, but it looks like our risk is flopping a little bit down here. Let me go see this chaser's thought here. I want to see this. Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't think that this threat is going to underperform. It should explode, especially late tonight. You know, the HRRR does not initiate in this area anymore. It doesn't initiate that huge supercell. Interesting. It's backed off significantly. So may have a little issue here. Right off the bat, my thinking is too early convection. We weren't expecting thunderstorms until 8 p.m. Eastern. Here it is, 6 o'clock. And we actually saw initiation at 4:30, so that was an hour and a half before right now. So that was like a 2.5, almost 3 hour early initiation. What that could do is that could actually that could have taken up a bunch of ingredients out here before the main boundary gets in this area to initiate those more robust supercells, and it may be leaving a cool pool, maybe a cap, or it could just simply be taking up some of the environment. Let's see. Gotta wait for the slow mesoanalysis. I mean, right now there's 4,500 instability out here, so it's gonna take a lot of storms to take up that much, that good of an environment. 4,500 instability doesn't just disappear because of a tiny little rain shower. It's going to take a full-blown supercell to use up all that cape. Let's go back up here to our potential tornado trying to drop down here along the I-80 corridor, going up towards Underwood in southwestern Iowa. Just make sure you're watching that very, very closely. Personally, if I'm in this area, I am getting to my safe spot. Like, I am definitely in my safe spot if I'm in front of this supercell. Because if I open the radar sight to a severe storm that looked like this, shoot, even I'm going to my safe spot. I wouldn't even go, that's a lie. I would definitely be running out the door right now. I would. As scary as this looks, that's just, I don't know why, but I was made like that. If I see something like this, I'm going to run right outside and look for a tornado. Don't do that, though. Please don't do that. I'm a trained professional. Don't go running outside looking for tornadoes, ever. But just being honest, I really would. I actually would. I would definitely run outside and try to find a tornado in that. I'm sorry, but with such a classic supercell like that, you can bet anything I'm going to be outside right along the I-80 corridor looking for this. But, yeah, if you are along this area, do not go outside. Make sure you are at least be indoors, away from doors and windows. Maybe close to your safe spot. Like I said, personally, what I would do is I would tell my family to get in their safe spot, and then I would go run out the door. That's what I would do. I would be a hypocrite. I'd be like, run to your safe spot. Everyone did the safe spot. I'm going to go outside. That's exactly what I would say. That's just, I don't know why, but that's exactly what I would want to do during a tornado warning. The only issue with up here in the mountains is you're not going to see it, so if it was out here in my neck of the woods, I'm not going to be able to see a thing. But this isn't even tornado warned yet, so technically you don't have to be in your safe spot if you're in these areas. But I highly recommend it, honestly. I mean, that literally could be planting a tornado at any second, right along the I-80 corridor. It is beyond me why they didn't put it as Tor possible. It is beyond me. I don't know why. Watch. Let me I'll screenshot this, send it to Lucky, see what he says. See what he says, because most weather enthusiasts, if they are in this severe, they're gonna run outside. And it's probably photogenic too. Like, if this has a wall cloud, there's like a 99% chance that is photogenic right there. With such a large, clean inflow notch, I mean, you're looking at a classic supercell right there. And look at that. Actually, it has an outflow boundary. See that? It actually has a little outflow boundary, a little boundary attached to it too. Matter of fact, that might be what helped form the hook. So you can see this boundary. Sometimes boundaries act as a area of inflow for storms, and they can increase south-southeasterly winds. And that's, to me, that looks like exactly what happened here. Is once that boundary really became more potent and attached to the southern edge of the storm, it's helped bow out, or I should say hook out, a hook echo there. It doesn't look as classic anymore. This was about 10 minutes ago. It looked extremely classic when we first looked at it. Now it looks like that hook is still very much present, but not as well defined. Still a broad area rotation there. But that storm's not even tornado warned. The actual tornado warning is down here in Oklahoma, where we have this little area of rotation on the southeast side of a hook echo near Willard in northwestern Oklahoma. I still do think we could see 4-inch hail down here in Texas, but honestly, with how early those storms fired, that may significantly impact the strength of your tornado threat. Your tornado threat may end up being substantially lower. We now have a confirmed tornado via storm chasers east of Omaha, Nebraska. So there is indeed a tornado on the ground moments ago along the I-80 corridor. A tornado has been observed from a storm chaser. Very, very photogenic as well. It doesn't look like it fully consolidated there, but definitely appears that we had a tornado on the ground here. Generally about 5 minutes ago. So that would be at this radar scan here, which would put the potential tornado, I mean, there's a clear picture of it, of a tornado being on the ground here. Right near this intersection between Highway 6 and Interstate 80. I'm going to quickly tweet about that. Give me just a second. I like to tweet about that. Any tornadoes. Underwood, Iowa. Got it. Yeah, especially the unwarned ones. Those are the ones I really focus on tweeting about because they don't have any warnings. And also the larger tornadoes. So if I ever go quiet in a live stream, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm tweeting. Yeah, the thing is, Sam, they updated it. They updated that warning. That severe thunderstorm warning. What, like 5 minutes ago or so, and they didn't even put Tor Possible on it. See, right there. So this thing literally, like, when they first issued the severe, right, it didn't have a crazy hook with it. But then when they updated the severe, it had a classic hook. Give me a moment. I'm texting Lucky. Because I want to see what he would do if he saw a storm like this near his house. He said, I'm going outside. See, I'm telling you, ask any chaser. Ask any chaser or weather enthusiast what they would do if they saw this storm over their house. And they're going to say, I'm going to go outside. The thing is, though, this isn't even tornado warned still. It just put down a unwarned tornado about 7 minutes ago now. About 6:05 p.m. Eastern time, this put down an unwarned tornado. And by unwarned, we mean no tornado warning. A severe warning is not a tornado warning. So when I say unwarned, I don't mean a general warning. I mean a tornado warning. Like, it is severe warned, but it is not tornado warned. New mesoscale discussion just issued from the Storm Prediction Center. That's going to be in southwestern Kansas. Let's go see what that says. Up to 2.5-inch hail, 80-mile-per-hour winds, and a brief weak tornado will all continue to be hazards into the early evening hours. Possibly a tornado with any sustained supercell when the lower level shear increases across this area shortly. So probably within the next hour, we'll have the opportunity for a tornado out here, which we already have a tornado warning, so really the tornado threat has already increased out here. The HRRR is not handling the threat today in this area well at all. It does not initiate those storms, which are ongoing right now in southern Kansas. It doesn't believe they will fire until 10 o'clock tonight. The storms that are currently firing in the Texas Panhandle, it doesn't believe those will fire till 8 o'clock tonight. So it's like 2 to 3 hours way, way ahead, I guess. 2 to 3 hours behind. That's the wording. 2 to 3 hours behind, actually. Not ahead. It's also underdoing moisture. I'll pretend to be surprised. Oh yeah, it's big time underdoing moisture. I know what's causing this storm to struggle. It's the high temperatures and the low dew points. Once it moves more east, it gets into better moisture. So in the short term, this is not going to pose much of a threat for severe weather. But once it moves more east here in an hour or maybe two, it could pose a better tornado threat. So we'll continue to monitor that cell there. But the reason why these storms, by the way, the reason why these storms are even firing, you may think it's a cold front, you may think it's a dry line or something else, but it's actually an outflow boundary from this MCS in southeast Texas. So this MCS let out an outflow boundary very early this morning, and that outflow boundary is still actually sitting up there in Texas. It is a stationary outflow boundary that is currently in place way up in the panhandle of Texas. So this MCS has actually let out multiple outflow boundaries. It's let out like 2 or 3. Severe weather alert. I see Monday going day 2 or day 1 moderate. Easily day 1 moderate as long as nothing changes. I could easily see Monday being a moderate. Anything higher than that, and yeah, you're just hyping at that point. You know, if you ever say a high risk is possible 5-6 days out, or if you ever say like a high risk is going to happen 5-6 days out, yeah, you're just hyping up. But I mean, considering how good our trough looks, and considering the fact that your trough has uptrended in the last 2 runs, which I mean it's just 2 runs, but hey, uptrend's an uptrend. I would not be surprised. I mean, in my opinion, Catman, I don't know what trough you think's the best trough, but in my opinion, this is the type of trough that's like the best for tornadoes. A very elongated, positively tilted trough with an embedded, negatively tilted shortwave. That's what I believe is the best type of trough for tornadoes. Your wind shear is not the best because this isn't a negatively tilted trough, so you don't have the 600 0 to 1 kilometer helicity or the 1,000 0 to 1 kilometer helicity you sometimes get in Dixie Alley, but you still have a great lower level jet, which is going to obviously contribute to that whatchamacallit, that lower level wind shear not being as high. That lower level jet is going to help. I highly doubt CSU has a high risk. You're probably misinterpreting that. You know, CSU has a moderate risk day 5, which is not even possible. I would show that, but I don't want to confuse you guys with the actual SPC outlooks. I'd say Monday is maintaining. So because I actually don't know how this works, to be honest with you, because your trough just uptrended, but somehow your wind shear downtrended a little bit. Like it actually downtrended the slightest bit on the wind shear department. I don't really know how that works, to be honest with you. You downtrended slightly with instability, but these are just individual deterministic GFS runs, right? So you want to look for consistencies here. You really don't want to take an individual GFS run and then say, all right, this is what's going to happen. You want to look for consistencies between the GFS run to run. For instance, this trend of us having a very potent positively tilted trough with a negatively tilted shortwave embedded in it. And because of that, the SPC went, okay, well, this model run really agrees with the potential for significant severe weather. And then if we look at the GFS, the Euro, the Canadian, they all agree on a significant trough in place. Although the Euro is significantly slower. What up with that? Why is that so slow? Huh, interesting. So actually, that's interesting. The reason why that's so interesting, if that actually happened, that might put Oklahoma and Kansas in the best threat. Yeah, see that? Discrete supercells firing in Oklahoma, freaking 1 a.m. Tuesday morning. So there's a different scenario there. But still, even if it was this slow, we would still end up with seeing significant severe weather in Kansas. But see how it's more messy on the northern side? So you've just got a blob of probably crap vection to messy thunderstorms in the northern risk area where the enhanced risk is from the SPC. And then you actually have a full-blown nocturnal tornado outbreak on the southern end. Whereas the GFS has that main tornado threat really being back up into Iowa, northwest Missouri, northeast Kansas, southeastern, eastern Nebraska, like the SPC has. Let me see the Euro's consistency here. Previous runs. It looks pretty consistent to me. We'll have to wait until we get closer for sure. That's going to be something I keep an eye on, is exactly where that strongest belt of flow is. Because you can see on the GFS, clearly the strongest belt of flow is right in here. And then on the Euro, it fully shifts that, weakens it, and puts it down into Kansas and Oklahoma. Whereas the Canadian model run agrees more with the GFS. So I almost want to call the Euro an outlier here. But you never know. We'll have to see which way these trend over the next couple of days. Regardless, we're looking at a tornado outbreak, most likely centered over Iowa, but that also could extend all the way back down into central Oklahoma on Monday. Yeah, Catman, they fixed that issue, Catman. The NAM3K wasn't updating earlier. The owner posted it on Twitter and said that he was fixing it.
Tornado warning for northwestern Pottawatomie County in southwestern Iowa, Pottawatomie County in Iowa.
Well, that's only about freaking 30 minutes too late. That's what it feels like. I swear we talked about that so long ago. That did say Iowa, right? Okay, there it is. I was gonna say, what? Yeah, but that tornado lifted like 18 minutes ago, so very little late on that. I guess better late than never, but you're definitely very late. Still a tornado warning in northwest Oklahoma as well for 7 minutes. Yeah, first severe out here in the panhandle of Texas for Silverton, Texas. I am 99% sure our chaser Connor Croft is going to be on that. Connor... Any, many, miny, mo. He is live, so... Yep, he's on it. See, Connor is such a good chaser that I literally just expected him to be on this storm, and that's exactly where he is. That's how good Connor is. What in the world did I just see? Was that right now? Let me go see if I can find this user. Crap. I gotta find that tweet again. Oh, there it is. Wow. Okay, I did see that right. There is a very, very, very large wall cloud out here along the I-80 corridor in southwestern Iowa. There is a huge wall cloud. Gracious day. Yeah, that definitely warrants a tornado warning for sure. It's definitely rotating. You can definitely clearly tell that there. But I didn't expect to see it being that large. So, a late tornado warning, but definitely a needed tornado warning. I want to see what the new HRRR is going to have here. I know you're not supposed to use a day of, but oh well, I'm going to. I'm a weather enthusiast. What else do you expect? Of course, I'm going to use the HRRR day of. Actually, that just reminded myself, we have a new meso-analysis. Still 4,500 instability. Yeah, this storm, is it properly moving? Because I know the last one, this one here, was it? It was one of these just died out. Yeah, this one just died out as it moved too far east. I think this is going to be the one we have to watch for the greatest hail threat and wind threat and tornado threat today. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. And here comes possibly another tornado warning. According to Radar Omega.
Tornado warning for North
Oklahoma.
Central Harper County in northwestern Oklahoma, Harper County in Oklahoma.
Tennis ball sized tail too. Man. Dodge City, I guess? I think that's your area of rotation there. It's very difficult to tell from the radar site. That could very easily just be a hail spike, to be honest with you. Jeez, English. But there's definitely rotation somewhere in here for sure. Or else they wouldn't have rewarned that area. Yeah, but I would love to be in the Texas Panhandle right now. Because these storms are going to explode very, very rapidly tonight. Especially towards like 8 o'clock. They should really explode. 8 Eastern. So that's about an hour and a half from now. It is in the slight risk. It's not in the 2% tornado risk, though. But it is indeed in the slight risk for severe weather. But there is not a 2% up there. What was that? Did I see that? I did. Is that a tornado report in Colorado? Sure is. I didn't realize that. We already had our first tornado of the day way back here in Colorado. Look at that. You had a, cheese. You can even see this from MRMS. Crazy. Crazy hook here. Crazy supercell. This was at 4:58 p.m. Eastern time. So that was about an hour and a half or so ago. Exactly an hour and a half ago, I believe. Yep. That's Colorado for you. Wouldn't be shocked if that happens tomorrow, too. Tomorrow has the same chance. It has the same chance to see a tornado there in Colorado, and we also have the same risk out there in Texas, according to the HRRR. Now, we'll have to wait and see if that actually uptrends or downtrends. A wall cloud now reported on this storm in Silverton, Texas. So it looks like we're already getting a attempt at a tornadic thunderstorm here. Also, there is your tornado report along the I-80 corridor. A brief tornado across to I-80. So there you go. Just proof. I wasn't making it up. There you go. That was your unwarned tornado there. Right over the hook. But that one in Colorado was first. So Colorado had the first tornado of the day. Then we had a tornado in Iowa. Don't know about out here in northwest Oklahoma. There's 0% chance we're going to be able to see any type of TDS from this far away. And I don't believe there's any chasers up there. Now we just got to wait and see what Texas does. What? Let me see. No, that was from yesterday. Yeah, we also had like 4.5-inch hail yesterday too. I was extremely busy though last night, and I'm going to be busy tonight, so I'm hoping to cover as much as I can, but I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay on here. Yesterday we had... I don't believe we had a tornado. No, we definitely did. We had that... I believe we had 2 tornadoes yesterday. I think we had a photogenic land spout in the Panhandle, and then you'll never guess, we had one in Colorado yesterday too. And the largest hail report, I know for sure there was a hail report of 4-inch in diameter, but was there anything larger? It looks like 4-inch hail was the largest hail from yesterday. I don't know if we got up to 4.5, but we definitely had 4-inch hail. After it's done with this merger, that's when I would expect this to try to become tornadic. After this is done with its merger. All right, we are going to go into coverage mode here. Even though the thumbnail is not correct at all. I got to try to slide this by you guys without showing. You know what? Let me... Wait, what am I doing? I could literally just close it on this monitor and then open it on that monitor. Like, how dumb am I? I can literally just go over here and go to YouTube on this monitor. Connor. There we go. Man, I'm going to miss not being at my setup for a couple days. I'm telling you. I'm lucky to have a 3-monitor setup, dude. It is awesome. I'm very, very lucky. And you realize that once you go storm chasing and you only have like a tiny little phone, and that's it. 77 dew points? Where is that? My assumption is either Southwest Texas. It's got to be Southwest Texas. There's no way it's not. Mesoanalysis. Let's see. I see 73 in East Central Texas. I see 73 in East Central Texas, but I don't see 77 anywhere. Let me check closer zoomed in. 73, 74. I see 77 in the Gulf. Is that what you're talking about? I see 77 in the Gulf. I do see that. Let me see if you said where it was. The coast of Texas. That's where it was. Let's see here. So still a tornado warning storm up here for Underwood in western Iowa. Now you do have to seek shelter, by the way, because that is a tornado warning storm there. All right. Yeah, I do see a little bit of a dew point issue, though. Not necessarily a moisture issue, my bad. More of a temperature dew point spread. The spread. Storms potentially being more elevated as opposed to surface based. Which that will help decrease the tornado threat at least some back out in Texas. But either way, I do think we could see an isolated strong tornado today. Once it's done with this merger, it's definitely going to attempt to produce a tornado. Oh, dang. I completely forgot Lucky was gone today. No wonder why when I texted him at like 5 o'clock today, he didn't respond. I fully forgot. Well, good evening to you too, Lucky. Soon I'll be saying good evening all the way from Talladega. Freaking 9 hours. I am doomed tomorrow. Anyone have any tips for long car rides? Because I've never been in a car like a straight travel for more than like 4 hours, and I've got a 9-hour drive tomorrow. So help. I'm gonna be bored out of my mind. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait until this finishes a cell merge here. And then it's definitely going to attempt to at least rotate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep on a car ride. Snacks. True. We rented a car, Caleb. Oh, believe me, once my tire blew out, we know we was taking a rent-a-car. We were not going to take my car all the way there. A podcast. That's a good idea. I'm not one to listen to podcasts, though, but I might have to change that tomorrow. 9 hours is not exactly a short car ride. Right when this thing potentially starts to rotate, Connor's feed is cutting in and out. So we're going to wait and see what happens after this cell merge. It does have a wall cloud. There is still a wall cloud reported on this storm. Actually, I'm looking at a wall cloud right now on Connor's feed. Just to the southwest of Silverton, Texas here. It's now warned up for 1.5-inch hail. Watch replays of NASCAR races. That's a good idea too, Lucky. Or like Caleb said, I could also do that. Just either watch Reed when he goes live. He might go live tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to be streaming tomorrow. It's 50-50 on Storm's firing tomorrow. It looks like it's 50-50. But if they do fire tomorrow, it will probably be like right as I'm arriving in Talladega. So I'll probably have to do a NASCAR replay. I already went over some of Tuesday's, but Tuesday's threat's further out, so there's a lot more uncertainty. Tuesday's threat depends highly on what happens Monday, so it's difficult to know the full extent of the day after the main event without the main event actually being finished. I'm going to Talladega for the NASCAR race on Sunday. But I'm leaving tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon. Most likely. Dang. Yeah, this storm is exploding now. And we got a new tornado warning. Let me mute Connor's feed so I can turn this back on.
Tornado warning for northeastern Jefferson County in southeastern Nebraska, Jefferson County in Nebraska.
So there you go. Another tornado warning in southeastern Nebraska. I think this is like the 4th one, maybe even the 5th one we've had here in Nebraska today. This is for Plymouth in southeast Nebraska. Yeah, I do not take naps. Lucky knows that. I'm not one to take naps, like, ever. Alright, I'm gonna turn you guys over to Connor's feed because Buddy's got, like, a wall cloud that could easily try to drop a tornado here. So let's go right on over to Connor Croft. Big old wall cloud there. That is in Silverton, Texas. So it's completing the cell merge now. And it currently has a large wall cloud here, large mesocyclone that is developed. We'll have to see if we get a more confined wall cloud, which may be like right in there. So your main meso, like this whole part here is your meso, but your wall cloud might be, it could be, it would definitely be more left, Connor, for sure. He's looking at the inflow. Let me hear what he's saying. But yeah, it really, if they're, if a funnel tries to drop it, it honestly, it could be anywhere here. Could be anywhere from in this area to where Connor was just looking, but it's probably going to be like right in the middle of the screen, right there, where the best chance for a funnel is out of this storm. Out of this particular wall cloud. And it should ramp up rapidly here over like the next, really like 15 minutes, to be honest with you. It shouldn't take much longer than 15 minutes for this to rapidly ramp up. Connor's trying to get a second route to stay with the storm. I'm definitely going to wait for the new HRRR, new meso analysis, so we'll be here for a little longer. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're currently watching our chaser Connor Croft here in Silverton, Texas. If you want to go subscribe to him, he is the third link in the description. You can find him there, or just look up Connor Croft in the YouTube search bar. We do have a tornado warning in effect in north central Oklahoma. That's north of Buffalo, Oklahoma. It's trying to ramp up. We also have a tornado warning in Plymouth in southeastern Nebraska trying to ramp up and intensify. And we lost the tornado warning out for the Underwood area in southwestern Iowa. So if you are in Underwood, southwest Iowa, that tornado warning has been canceled. So we've got 2 tornado warnings and 12 severe warnings. The storm that Connor is on is warned for severe thunderstorm warning for 1.5-inch hail and as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. Let's see here. Yeah, Connor's trying to escape the rain. You can still see a huge meso on this. It is getting a second merger. If it wasn't getting that second merger, this would probably try to plant a tornado in about 5 minutes. But it's getting a second merger now. You can actually see, I kind of don't want to switch you to radar because he's got such a good view of it, but there is indeed a hook echo trying to form. There's a hook echo that is pretty much formed. So that's another thing that could inhibit the strong tornado threat today is destructive mergers. I meant to mention that on my tweet earlier. I forgot. But I did notice that on the... even the HRRR was simulating destructive cell mergers today. Being a possibility. So that could definitely hurt the tornado threat. But also has a chance to help it too. Because it gives it a second updraft. So it's going to be a little bit longer before this thing probably really tries to put down a tornado. Right now, it's got a little rotation to it. Big mesocyclone. But it's going to have to likely not have any cell mergers for a little bit, at least to give it some time to try to produce. So we still weren't expecting storms to fire. Like right now is when we were thinking a CU field would start to develop. That's what the HRRR was showing, but it happened like 3 hours earlier. So I do believe that could have messed with the overall tornado potential too. But as we go into the evening, very late evening hours and into potentially the night hours, we'll start to see an increase in lower level wind shear there. All right, I do want to show you guys the tornado warning storm. Give me just a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so there's your little hook trying to form. That's where your wall cloud is. It's what Connor was looking at. But now you've got a cell from the south that's moving into the base of the supercell. I don't know if that's going to hurt the hook at all. We'll have to see, figure out if that's going to hurt the hook. But you also have more cells too. You have cells back here, cell here, and then the main cell merge here. And then it already got hit by another big cell merge there. So multiple, like 4 or 5 different cell mergers here. And it's really just been a fire hose here. You can see it's really just stated as a fire hose for the time being, but now it should start moving. We should start to see this thing move and maintain a mature supercell characteristics. I'll switch back to Connor after this cell merge occurs, so like 5-10 minutes or so. Oh, also, just to show you up here with our tornado warning in Oklahoma, still trying to tighten up right in this area near just north of Buffalo in north central Oklahoma. And then we have that other tornado warning southeastern Nebraska for Plymouth. That is really attempted to tighten up over the last 2 to 3 scans here. So we'll also monitor that. That is currently tornado warned as well. You missed 2 tornadoes and about a few instances of 2-inch hail. Nothing too over the top yet. But this is the storm that should give us the over the top threat of, 4 to potentially as high, rather as large as 5-inch hail. 4 to 5-inch hail out of this storm in the very long term. Like this should literally survive for like 5 hours or so. It should really, really thrive. And if it doesn't, then we will see another storm that will fire and try to thrive. But we're going to have at least one storm in this environment that tries to become a long-tracked supercell. At least one. Another thing I'm curious about is how much convection will we see here? You know what? We're already seeing a lot of convection down here. Yeah, I was also wondering how much convection we're going to see in this area because the HRRR does have a low-end tornado threat being possible in this area as well. But it's much lower further south because you have a lot lower wind shear. You have a small chance for a brief tornado out of these few cells near Fort Stockton. And then your main tornado threat will be with this storm. And then late tonight, closer to 10 p.m., midnight or so, we should see another batch of supercells that attempts to produce tornadoes up here in north central Texas. Let's go back up to Iowa. Looks like this storm near Underwood, southwestern Iowa, is attempting again. You know what's crazy? At one point, we had 1 minute. Look at that. At one point, we had 1 minute scans on this tornado warning. Since when? Look how smooth that is with 1 minute radar scans. What? Was... Yeah, reflectivity was every 2 to 3 minutes, but for some reason, velocity was every minute. Dude. That's very, very satisfying to see such short scans between radar imagery. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Dow imagery before, but man, that stuff is... Oh, man. I mean, it is crazy. Especially like Dow imagery of, for instance, like Moore, El Reno 2013, or even the Greenfield, Iowa 2024 tornado. Really any Dow data involving a tornadic storm. Just looks insane because they're scanning like at 30-second scans, right? We're used to 3, 4, 5 minute scans. Dow does like 30 seconds. Let's go back up here again. We do have a tornado report now on this storm from a train spotter from 15 minutes ago. Okay, is that when that was warned? So right when they warned this, somebody sent in a report of a tornado on the ground. So why would we not observe that? Interesting. I wonder if that was from social media. Like if the train spotter sent in a photo. Believe it or not, sometimes it takes the National Weather Service to receive 20 different reports of a tornado before they actually confirm one. We saw it not too long ago when we had a 16-minute unconfirmed tornado, even though like literally 60 to 80 chasers had live feed of it, and they still weren't observing it. We've seen it before. And then other times, all it takes is just, you know, a tiny bit of CC from a faraway radar site, and they'll observe it. So each National Weather Service is different, to be honest with you. They're different with warnings, but there is a base criteria for tornado warnings. If you guys didn't know that, like there is a certain amount of VROT, which is inflow outflow combined, that has to meet the requirement before the National Weather Service tornado warns a storm. There's a criteria for it. I'm not sure what that criteria is, though. I haven't looked much into it, to be honest with you. Tornado warning still continues on this storm. It was observed about 15 minutes ago from a train spotter. The National Weather Service never observed it. I mean, it could have just been a brief 1 minute or less tornado. It happens all the time. Not every tornado is this long-tracked 20, 30-minute tornado. Yep, look at that. Another merger, another merger, another merger. As long as those keep going, this sucker is not going to be able to produce a tornado. But right when those stop, whenever we get a good 10-minute break, this thing is going to try to crank and attempt to plant a tornado. Probably somewhere out in this area here. Which is literally like in the middle of nowhere. Somewhere in these fields. And that's right where Connor is, right here. So he is in like the perfect spot to view a tornado if it does touch down. That's if we do see one. So we've already had 3 tornadoes today since we've been live. It's only an hour into the stream. So that's kind of crazy. 3 tornadoes already today. Look at this thing. This thing looks like a derecho right now from like first just glimpse at it. It kind of looks like a derecho. But thankfully, we don't have a lot of ingredients out here. So the main threat with this is widespread 40 to 50 mile an hour winds with isolated winds, potentially up to 60, maybe pushing 65 miles per hour. But most of this line is going to be 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. That watch expires in 2 hours and 6 minutes. However, these storms are already reaching the edge of that watch. Matter of fact, guess what? As I'm talking about this, they just put out a new mesoscale discussion for this this line here. Let's see. It's loading. Likely not, Ben. There's a very high chance I won't be able to stream Monday. Waking up early and then doing a 9-hour drive and then coming home and trying to stream at like 9, 10 o'clock after a long weekend, it's not very likely. Waiting to see this new MCD. It's taken a long time to load. SPC has been slow. Finally, a local extension or a new watch issuance may be needed if this Boeing segment continues to maintain its current intensity. So they are debating about issuing a new severe watch, potentially all the way into Houston, Texas here. So if you're in Houston, Texas, back out towards near Lake Charles, there is the opportunity for a new severe thunderstorm watch to be issued generally in this area here. That's from the newest SPC's mesoscale discussion. Now, still a good area of rotation there, right along Highway 136. I mean, this thing's still, it just keeps getting more and more mergers. Mergers keep firing, or I should say cells keep firing right off of that boundary and then going right into the storm. All right, new HRRR should be starting to come in now. Yeah, it says the prime tornado threat begins like right now. This storm is definitely going to be in the best environment by far. Although those storms that fire more north, those aren't going to be bad either. Actually, they're firing early as well. They have already fired up there too. Yeah, it could get a definitely could get a tornado or two out here, northeast side of that tornado watch. All right, this storm has now fully changed direction. It has moved from a east mover to a dead southeast mover. So this storm is now booking it off to the southeast. Well, that's a very, very familiar town name right there. Very familiar town name. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this storm. It is hightailing it to the southeast right now. Southeast motion isn't very favorable for tornadoes, but I mean, it could definitely try to produce a tornado. Especially as it gets closer to this region in here. So that's crazy how out of the whole panhandle of Texas here, this storm is going through one of the only bad areas to chase in the panhandle of Texas. It's this little area here. There's a canyon So chasers are going to have to split around that, either go very far south or book it east and then book it south and try to look at the storm over the canyon. Personally, I would probably be the person to book it east and then south. It doesn't look like this has a wall cloud anymore. Well, now it is Tor possible. It's Tor possible now, but it looks like this storm just lost its wall cloud due to all those mergers. But it is Tor possible, so it is technically still could be tornadic. A new report. We got a report of 1.5-inch hail over Council Bluffs in southwestern Iowa. That is just to the east of Omaha, Nebraska. Now, Connor's noting that this storm doesn't look really good for an imminent tornado threat. There's a lot of structures that it needs to fix. Which, all it takes is one cell merge, and then our cell mergers stop, and then it could definitely try to produce a tornado. Either way, I can guarantee this thing is going to become a big-time hailer. For sure. Let's see. Give me a moment. I'm going to go quickly do this. Connor's noting how bad how bad of terrain this storm's going towards. It's going towards horrific terrain, that is for sure. Let's see here. Starting to lose Connor's feed too. What did he just say? He said everybody and their grandmas pulled off here. Everyone's stopping just before the canyon to get a view of this storm. Oh, I would not leave it. No. No, I would not leave it. This is probably going to be the only good storm in the southern panhandle. I mean, unless you want to go up to, like, far northeastern Texas, you're not going to want to leave this storm. Or, like, extreme southern Texas. Like, you would have to go to Fort Stockton. But this storm definitely has the best chance for a tornado. In my opinion, out of any storm we have, I think this one has the best chance over the next couple of minutes. Probably for about the next hour or so. Connor just turned off his Wi-Fi or something. So we'll continue to monitor this storm. Let's see what happens here. Currently, it is not tornado warned, so that's at least good news there. I don't believe it is an imminent tornado threat. Like I said, we're going to have to wait until these cell mergers stop for that to become a tornado threat. Okay, let me screenshot this. This storm's almost outside of its warned area now, so... it's really gotten far southeast. It's moving even more southeast than that. Connor just noticed that. He said, why are the storms of the day up in Nebraska and Iowa? If they really have been. They honestly have been. We haven't seen much here in Texas yet. Not very impressed by this storm anymore, to be honest with you. All right, I'm going to turn you guys on over to Connor's feed here. Let's see that one. Connor's got a new area of rotation trying to develop on this storm south of Silverton. I don't see a lot of rotation, but that's where he's saying there's some rotation. So we're going to continue to watch this this storm here. We are no longer under any tornado warnings, so that is really good. No longer any tornado warnings active. I'm listening to Connor. He's saying he doesn't see much confined area of rotation right now on this storm. See if I got the right storm motion out of this. Think I do. There we go. Waiting game, y'all. Waiting game. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait till we get closer to talk more about Monday. I really can't do much more than just show you the overall, like, trough. I really hate diving into, like, the main ingredients on a day because they change so much by day one. They change it so much. You can get a, you know, an idea of it. So we'll keep watching this storm here. It is angled towards Paducah, Kentucky. Or not Kentucky, Texas. Such a habit. Such a habit. Paducah, Texas. I don't remember Paducah, Texas. I don't think I've ever realized that. Not Kentucky. We don't got to talk about Kentucky till, what, Tuesday? Tuesday. Just so many mergers. I don't know if this is ever going to be able to try to produce a tornado here because of all the mergers. Oh, I just realized that's a funnel. I just realized that's a funnel right there. I'm over here looking at mesoanalysis and I didn't even realize that there is about to be a tornado on the ground. When did that get there? I had no idea that was even there, yo. I just look over. There's a Pretty much a half tornado right there. It's already a funnel cloud right there. That is just to the north of South Plains in the panhandle of Texas. Wow, that's crazy. I promise you, I was not looking at Connor's feed. I was over here looking at mesoanalysis, trying to figure out if this storm's going to be able to produce a tornado or not. All right, let's go listen to Connor. Bit of a language warning, just a heads up, just in case. Turn his volume up.
Come on, little guy.
It's got no rotation on radar, so that's crazy.
Drop.
Oh.
Tornado warning for northeastern Floyd County in northwestern Texas, northwestern Motley County in northwestern Texas, southwestern Hall County in the panhandle of Texas, southeastern Briscoe County in the panhandle of Texas, Briscoe, Floyd, Hall, and Motley County in Texas.
There you go.
So close.
And that thing is almost on the ground. I mean, it is right there.
Needs to do it quick. Come on. Oh, it's going.
Oh. Hey, wait, Connor, we didn't see it.
It's going down. Going down, guys.
Thought he was going to turn around on us.
Tornado. Oh, yeah, it's down. Tornado down. Tornado down. Ground circulation there. Wow.
I don't see it, but I definitely trust Connor.
Beautiful tornado down. Wow, look at that, guys. Beautiful shot.
Yep, there you go. Wow. There you go.
Wow, look at that. Incredible tornado.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, incredible tornado.
I do gotta get a screenshot of this real quick. Zoom out. So there you go. There is your tornado on the ground. That is in just south of Silverton, Texas.
That's unbelievable.
Just south of Silverton, Texas. Wow.
Wow, Chad, look at that thing.
Oh yeah, it's got the tiniest little area of rotation with the tiniest little hook.
Roping out, I think.
Another tornado warning.
Stay on the ground.
Apparently. I don't see it, but Radar Omega just did an audible cue there. Oh.
Tornado warning for northeastern Floyd County in northwestern Texas.
Yeah, it's observed.
Northwestern Motley County in northwestern Texas.
Why did they issue a new
Hall
warning?
County in the panhandle of Texas. Southeastern Briscoe County in the panhandle of Texas, Briscoe, Floyd, Hall, and Motley County.
I don't want to show you guys when he's got a tornado on the ground, but they just issued a tornado warning on top of the tornado warning, and that new tornado warning is observed.
There's a freaking cattle guard right here.
So we've got a radar indicated tornado warning on top of a observed tornado warning.
Roping out in the rain there. And now I'm just getting annoyed.
So there you go.
Look at that.
There's your tornado.
Shot. It's trying to get up to this gravel road to potentially get close to it. That's what I was trying to do.
Now we just got to see if we get our hail threat to verify. We got to see if we get 4-inch hailstones today or not.
It's an incredible tour. Unbelievable, it's just sitting there.
Getting a little bit more wrapped in rain, but you can still see it. It's right there.
Look at it in there, guys. You gotta be kidding me.
Little sidewinder rope. It's right there.
You gotta be joking.
Tiny little sidewinder rope tornado. It's barely rotating on radar. Barely even rotating on radar, yet we've got a fully condensed sidewinder rope tornado.
Still fully condensed in the rain.
Man. What do we got, a west moving tornado and a southeast moving supercell?
It just sucks there's zero way to get close to it. It's a beautiful tornado, man.
A west moving, southeast moving supercell. A west moving tornado with a southeast moving supercell. Makes like no sense.
Still getting wrapped in rain.
But that actually might be what is happening.
Look at that thing. Hey, rope it out.
Oh yeah, now it's open out.
Beautiful rope out.
You can barely see it. They dissipate so fast and gone. Full gone. Just like that. Takes about 5 seconds.
Beautiful tornado, man. Unbelievable.
There you go. And here comes another
tornado warning.
This one's in Oklahoma.
Central Woods County in northwestern Oklahoma, East Central Harper County in northwestern
What
Oklahoma.
in the strong area of rotation?
Woodward County in northwestern Oklahoma,
Look
Harper,
at this.
Woods, and Woodward County in Oklahoma.
Random area of strong rotation here in Oklahoma. I didn't have that on my card today. I didn't think we'd be seeing a strong area of rotation in Oklahoma. Let's go to this. There we go. That actually might be, let's check ZDR. That actually has a chance to be on the ground. There's a chance that may be on the ground there. Too difficult to tell from just CC, but based off of velocity mixed with the perfect spectrum width area, mixed in with the very classic supercell structure. Very, very classic supercell. Very, very classic supercell here. Wouldn't be shocked if we have a tornado either about to be or possibly already ongoing in north central Oklahoma to the northwest of Freedom. It would not shock me one bit if that's on the ground. So we'll continue to monitor that. We are no longer at an observed warning. They just dropped that. They just dropped that. And now look, let me show you. We've got 3 tornado warnings. We have 2 tornado warnings on top of each other. Literally perfectly on top of each other. Like literally I can't even zoom in to show you the second warning. It is a perfectly overlapped second tornado warning. Also, this one in Oklahoma, that is warned for 2.5-inch hail as well. So that is also warned for 2.5-inch hail. As you can see, a blue DBZ hail core there. That should be like, give or take 65. No, actually almost 70. Don't know how photogenic that would be, but it would definitely be a very cool looking cloud structure from Freedom, Oklahoma, going around Freedom, Oklahoma. Definitely would get a good view of it. I don't know how photogenic it would be though, because I can't tell I mean, it is right there. I feel like it would probably be wrapped in the Hook Echo's rain shaft. But you would probably still be able to see it. And look at that. I mean, that's getting very strong. That's probably about 100 right now. 33 plus 53. So that's 86. So that's getting up there on rotation. 86 on our rotation there. All right, let's go back over to Texas. Just briefly. Yeah. See how this has got a very classic just curvature supercell look to it. I mean, if we get any type of winds to wrap around on the southern southeastern side of this, we'll probably end up with another tornado, maybe even a strong tornado out of that. So that's going to be one we have to watch very closely. This is back up in north central Oklahoma. Let's see here. Yeah, V-Rod of 43. V-Rod of 43 does put it in the strong category. If you didn't know, V-Rod of 30 is typically weak area of rotation. Normally, that's when we see a tornado warning. V-Rod of 40 plus, I believe, is a strong tornado. V-Rod of 50 plus is an intense tornado. And then V-Rod of 70 plus is a violent tornado. How you get V-Rod? It's very, very easy. If you want to just do this at home too, it's super easy to get V-Rod. So you take the max gate-to-gate wind speed here. So that is 53 on 33. That came out to 86. And you divide 86 by 2. Since you are combining two numbers, the inflow and the outflow. So that makes it a 43 V-Rod. I'm sure I could probably find it. Let me look up V-Rod scale NWS tornado. Yep. I'm going to screenshot this. Or can I just save this? There we go. Screenshot this. Send it to Lucky. All right, let's go back up here. So now you're at 5838, and on the newest scan, it just broke apart significantly. So if that did produce a tornado, it definitely would have been in the last, like, 5 minutes or so, if it did. Which, that well-defined of a blob of spectrum width kind of makes me think this could have produced a tornado. Still, this storm is very capable of producing a tornado. It is still very, very classic. It's not like the hook occluded or anything. The rotation just weakened. We now have a confirmed tornado on this storm. There is now a confirmed tornado on this storm due to a local news network chaser who is on this cell. And he has confirmed a tornado is on the ground here near Freedom, Oklahoma. So there is indeed a tornado ongoing with this storm going towards Freedom in north central Oklahoma. Let me back that up. There you go. Not sure if they're going to confirm this or not, but a chaser definitely had a tornado on the ground. I'm gonna switch this to spectrum with. There we go. Connor's got a very high based structure down there in Texas on that tornado warning storm. Oh, well, they did observe it. There you go. They've observed that tornado warning. So, yeah, man, that really strengthened on the newest scan. Jeez. So now you've got 62 and 35. So 62 plus 35, what? That's like 97? 97? So you do 97 divided by 2. So that's about a 48 VROT now, which almost classifies this as an intense tornado based off of radar alone. Also, this has observed 2.5-inch hail in it. Connor's got a big shattered windshield on the top right corner of his screen. That was probably from yesterday. A lot of chasers got broken windshields and cracks in their windshields because of hail yesterday. I just saw that, Caden. I was just looking at that. So confirmed warning now out here in north central Oklahoma. And we're going to continue to watch that very, very classic, very, very classic Supercell. Sorry, I got distracted by Connor's feed. My apologies. Didn't finish my sentence there. Now observed for apple-sized hail. So now there is observed 3-inch hail on this. Yeah, these storms are eventually going to collide too. This one's moving northeast. This one's moving southeast. So they're eventually going to collide right in here. Yeah, this is looks like this storm's going to attempt to produce another tornado here shortly. So Connor's on this storm. He's got a decent visual of it. If I start to see a funnel or anything, I will definitely switch over to his feed for y'all. I will switch it right now, actually. So there's your new area of rotation. It's right in here. And this is now going just to the... It's currently just to the northwest of Matador, Texas. Didn't really expect to be covering this many tornado warnings, or I would have changed the thumbnail to today's risk. The thumbnail is Monday and Tuesday's risk for severe weather. How's Missouri? Missouri's good today. Maybe just some rain. But Missouri, I mean, if you're anywhere in the state of Missouri, you're going to have a chance for severe weather Monday and or Tuesday, depending exactly where you are. The more northwest you are, it looks like the better chance. So if you are in like Kansas City or north of Kansas City, you could see potentially a strong tornado or two on Monday. If you are in the Boot Hill of Missouri or like St. Louis, Missouri, your severe threat is going to be on Tuesday. I don't think we will have strong tornadoes on Tuesday in Missouri. Goodston, Missouri. So, okay, yeah, you're kind of like southwestern-ish Missouri. You're going to be in the threat on Tuesday. So Tuesday, you could see a few tornadoes, some large hail, and maybe a spin up or tornado or two will be possible. I think the main tornado threat on Tuesday will be back up towards like Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. So you definitely want to be weather aware. As we get closer, we'll know more. We'll be able to figure out if the threat is, maybe larger threat than expected or a lower in threat than expected. Things downtrend and uptrend all the time, so. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we're doing both here, Sebastian. We were just going to do an hour briefing, but then we've started getting tornado warnings. Like, we've covered probably 10 tornado warnings now. 4, maybe even 5 tornadoes. We did just get a new tornado warning up in Iowa. There's actually a decent area of rotation, nearly a strong area of rotation going towards Portsmouth in southwestern Iowa. That is a tornado warned storm. Looks quite heavily rain wrapped as well. Definitely a little hook starting on this storm that Connor's on. That is to the southwest of Turkey in the panhandle of Texas. Our storms in north central Texas up towards Spearman, the northern panhandle area, really, they look really weak. No lightning with them. Very, very small hail and not really many hazards with them. We'll see if that changes over the next 30 minutes. They should intensify. Still an observed tornado, likely a strong tornado south of Plainview in northwestern Oklahoma. Likely a strong tornado still ongoing. Strong to intense tornado still ongoing there. It's been relatively stationary too. I mean, if somebody was chasing on that, they really wouldn't have to move at all. It's been nearly a stationary tornado there. Leave it to Oklahoma to produce the stationary tornado. Of course, Oklahoma, man. Oklahoma shines on mesoscale days like today. It's over a lake. I'll check real quick, but you're probably right. It didn't look like a populated area from what I could tell. Mine doesn't have it over a lake. Mine has it over a very open field. That's what my satellite says. Yeah, that's fields, Caden. I can see how you mistook that for a lake. Yeah, that's trying to produce a tornado right in front of Connor. Pretty sure that's like fields. 90% sure. Yeah, it's trying right in front of Connor. This is the storm out in Texas. It does, Cade. No, I will definitely give you that. It definitely looks like a lake. For sure. So this is right up here. This is trying to produce a tornado. This whole area is rotating. Not very intense at the moment, but it is definitely rotating. I do think a cell merge could destroy this storm. There's some big cell mergers off to the south. That could definitely destroy this storm. So if this does produce a tornado, it will not be a long-lived tornado. Those cell mergers, I'd say they're still a while away. Honestly, they are dying out a bit. And considering this storm's moving slow, I'd say we probably still have about almost hour, I would say. I'd say we still got another hour before those cell mergers really impede on this storm. But the environment is not favorable for a long track tornado, too. It's not favorable. Worst case scenario, we could actually get a strong tornado today out of a storm just like this, fully discrete in a quite favorable environment. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw a tornado at any point here near Portsmouth in southwestern Iowa. Still likely a tornado on the ground south of Plainview, northwestern Oklahoma. It is no longer observed, so Chaser saw that lift. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's about to be right back on the ground. Leave it to Oklahoma to have the stationary deviant motion tornado today. Let me show you real quick. Deviant motion, you can see it formed right here. Touchdown right at my cursor. Moved just the tiniest bit off to the east, not by maybe a mile tops. And then it moved to the northwest, and then it started moving west and then south, as you can see right there. Full-blown turn in the tornado. Moved from southeast to north to southwest, and now it's stationary. Literally, on that newest scan, that thing barely even moved but a couple of feet. So full-blown deviant stationary tornado motion there. That is insane. Watch how that formed on... Get rid of that. On reflectivity. Look at that. You can see the hook sticks out, wraps around, produces a tornado, weakens for a scan or two, wraps around again, does a full loop. Right there, it did a full loop. Between this frame and these 3 frames, did a full loop. And then now it's just sitting there. Now it's just stationary right here. And like I said, wouldn't be shocked if that is back on the ground or still on the ground. It is radar indicated now, but that's a very tight area of rotation there. So no observed warnings anymore. Thank you, Brody, for the $2 donation. More of Ohio got introduced to that slight risk on Tuesday. I don't really have any new info for you. We're still, we won't know a lot about the risk until we get very close, and then we won't know big time specifics until the day of. It's going to be the day after a probably tornado outbreak. We'll probably have an outbreak in Iowa. And so once that finishes on Monday, then Tuesday morning, we'll be able to figure out how bad of a threat Ohio may be. Personally, I don't think we will have that big of a tornado threat. It looks like a big-time damaging wind threat and likely a lower hail threat, as well as a lower tornado threat, from what I can tell. But there could be the chance for a strong tornado either in Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, or that strong tornado threat may actually be way back up into Ontario, Canada. SPC has issued a new mesoscale discussion. Supercells are increasing with the potential of tornadoes and hail up to 4.25 inch in diameter. Also, 65 to 80 mile per hour winds will be a possibility. Any supercell that can... any supercell that can move to the southeast with the increasingly moist environment may be able to produce a tornado and baseball-sized or larger hail. So this storm is going to be the storm of the day, most likely. Most likely the storm of the day in Texas that Connor's on. Finally, a bit of lightning back up towards Spearman in the northern panhandle of Texas. Those storms may be finally strengthening. I do want to see, did they mention anything about that northern risk in the MCD? Let's see. Supercells with very large hail and tornado potential may increase this evening. Let's see here. Actually, multiple more supercells may evolve. That's what they say. Multiple intense supercells may evolve early evening. Early evening? What you mean? It's 7:39. I guess over there it's what, 5:39? So that is very early evening for them. Not for me though. Let's see. What ingredients do these run out of first? I think the first ingredients they run out of is instability in the panhandle of Texas. So Storm Connor's on. It should still be able to last another 2 hours up until about 10 p.m. Eastern. Then it will most likely begin to weaken. So it's still got another 2 hours or so of lifespan left. And then those cells in northern Texas, the storms in northern Texas, those are probably going to last all the way till almost 1 a.m. Let's see. A little shocked that's not an observed warning. I would be pretty surprised if we don't have a tornado on the ground south of Plainview in Oklahoma. Where is this? Near Freedom, Oklahoma. Man. Yeah, this thing's just been completely stationary. Dude. This is insane. This is insane back out here in Oklahoma. Look at this. It's been stationary since about 7:34. Almost 10 minutes this thing has been completely stationary. I mean, even... It's been right around this area. The whole lifespan, it's been around this area. That is just awesome. And now this thing's moving west. It's moving west now when the actual storm is moving southeast. We also just got a PDS severe thunderstorm warning for 2.75-inch hail in southern Kansas. Looks like the storm Connor's on is beginning to form another hook, so we'll see if Connor can see anything here. It's still down? Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm gonna go see if I can find that chaser. Oh, yep. He's still on it. It is a big multi-vortex tornado. Give me a second. Dude, that's crazy. I just tweeted about it. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you can go and get the link on there to that chaser. I don't like to post footage like that, but I mean that's just crazy footage right there. What in the world? Huh. Looks like there was a second tornado that tried to drop down too, but it failed. Wait, did it fail? It did not fail! We got twins in Oklahoma! What the heck? Dude. What NWS is this? Dude. That is insane. I believe they had twin tornadoes on the ground. Man. The one that Connor is currently on is no longer tornado warned, and he said there was like softballs. Oh my word, you can see it. Look. Look. Watch right at my cursor. Right there. Did you see it? Right at my cursor. Boom. It's a huge hailstone. Yow, right there. That's hail. Dude. See if we can see him from like this angle. You can literally see a hailstone fall, dude. I want to see that again. Yo, there it goes right there. Oh, was that another one? I think I saw another one over here. Yeah, there's another one. There's another one. Dude, yeah, no wonder why they ran away. Dude. That's crazy. Jeez. We had twin tornadoes on the ground in Oklahoma, y'all. I believe both have lifted now. You can see velocity's broken apart, but yeah, you legit had twin tornadoes on the ground here in Oklahoma. Look at that. 1, 2. I don't know if I could show you guys the footage on YouTube, but I did share it on Twitter. If you guys want to go to my Twitter, it's the same as the YouTube so at TRG Tornado. But on Twitter. And you can go see the picture there. Because I did share those with links to their live stream. So if you want to go watch their live stream too and see it on there, you can go to their stream. But I believe both have lifted now. Storms in the northern panhandle of Texas now going severe for 1-inch hail. So the storm Connor's on doesn't look as tornadic now, but it is starting to drop very large hail, potentially as large as 3-inch in diameter. It's warned for 2.5 at the moment, but wouldn't be shocked if it's dropping slightly larger hail than that. Man. The real target was Oklahoma all along. Wait, well, so we gotta count that as 2 tornadoes, right? Like, there were literally twins, so that counts as 2 tornadoes, so... We had a tornado in Louisiana today? What? When? When did we have that? We've had tornadoes freaking everywhere. 3:11 p.m. Eastern. So we had a tornado in Louisiana, that's 1. Tornado in Nebraska, that's 2. Tornado in Iowa, that's 3. Tornado in Colorado, that's 4. Tornado Connor saw, that's 5. Tornado in Oklahoma, that's 6. Twin tornado in Oklahoma, that's 7. We've had 7 tornadoes today. Dude. We've had 7 tornadoes today. Technically, you could consider that a... Like, if it was regional, that would be a regional tornado outbreak. But that is not a tornado outbreak because it is over such a large area, right? From Louisiana to Colorado to Iowa. That's not regional. That's a large area. So technically, that's not a tornado outbreak. It has to be a very regional area. For instance, say like... the panhandle of Texas. If we had 7 tornadoes there, okay, yeah, that'd be a tornado outbreak. But 1 in Colorado, 1 in Texas, 2 in Oklahoma, 1 in Nebraska, 1 in Iowa, 1 in Louisiana. That's too wide. That's too far apart to be considered an outbreak. And then day's not done. We could easily see another tornado or 2 here in the panhandle of Texas. And maybe even another one in Oklahoma. Well, it was supposed to be a quick briefing, turned into full coverage when tornadoes started dropping legit everywhere. Like, literally. Yeah, a lot of these in Texas are just going to become big-time hailers from here on out. I do fully believe that we have another chance to see a tornado out of this storm heading towards, unfortunately, Matador now inside a severe storm. And I think this storm has one last chance to produce a tornado before it gets hit by that cell merge. Now, after that cell merge, maybe, but it's running out of instability after that cell merge. It should move into a less favorable environment after that cell merge. Well, according to the HRRR, but according to mesoanalysis, there's still 3,500 cape here, so maybe not. It might have another opportunity after the cell merge. Point being is watch that storm towards Matador, Roaring Springs. Still watching Connor Croft's feed there. Let's see here. Let me go to... Yeah, it looks like there's another hook forming on this storm, so Connor could definitely end up seeing a tornado try to drop here shortly. This is, if it does drop a tornado, this is going to go just to the northwest of Matador, Texas, and head towards Matador, Texas. Either way, Matador, you are definitely going to get hit by... You're definitely going to be hit by hail in Matador, Texas, up to potentially as large as 3-inch in diameter. Let me see. Only tornado warning now active is the one for Freedom in Oklahoma, and it looks like that storm's hook died out. However, it still has that classic ZDR arcing, so it may be able to try to redevelop an area of rotation. This storm has definitely turned full-blown southeast motion now. Chicago's threat should be, I think, early. It might be early Tuesday morning. I'm not too sure. I think it's going to end up being overnight. So very, very late Monday night, technically Tuesday morning. And I can't tell you the exact hazards, but definitely damaging winds. That's definitely a possibility. I don't know about hail or tornadoes. Let's see here. New tornado warning just got issued. That's going to be tornado warning for
County in northwestern Oklahoma, northeastern Woodward County in northwestern Oklahoma, Woods, and Woodward County in Oklahoma.
All right, that's a new radar indicated warning. For the observed one expires in 2 minutes, so they've continued a radar indicated one for 32 more minutes. Connor's running from hail. Said there's about softball sized hail. He's just cutting in and out. I just saw a hailstone. Man, we ain't even able to see it. Another chaser said there's softballs too. The thing is, it's hard to judge hail from in the car. You really have to get out of the car and measure the hailstone, because what you think may be softball 4-inch hail, it could be literally an 1.5 inch worth of hail in terms of diameter there. New mesoscale discussion for up to about 2.5 to 3 inch in diameter hail in southwest Texas. That includes the Sanderson, Marathon, Fort Stockton, Odessa, all the way back up to Patrica and O'Donnell in west central Texas for the potential of up to 2.5 to 3 inch hail. I think that's hail on the road, right? Pretty sure. It's warned for tennis ball sized hail, which is 2.5 inch in diameter. Hopefully he doesn't lose another windshield. He already lost his back windshield. Looks like we got another 2 areas of rotation up in Iowa. Maybe even upwards of 3 areas of rotation. Possibly one to the west of Harlan. One definitely to the south of Harlan. And then a third one definitely to the northeast of Oakland in Iowa. Literally any of those could end up getting tornado warned. That storm in Oklahoma. Let me go check mesoanalysis. It is going to start leaving that favorable environment in Oklahoma, so that's good. It's going to start leaving wind shear. There's a little pocket of 50, 0 to 1 kilometer helicity that could have been the reason for this storm producing twin tornadoes. They have upgraded this storm to a PDS destructive severe for Matador, Texas, for 2.75 inch hail. That's baseball sized hail. That's a doozy right on Connor's windshield right there. I believe that's from yesterday. Also, a new significant severe for 2 inch hail south of Spearman. I'm going to change Connor's feed because he's cutting in and out so much. He's cutting in and out way too much right now. So this is your new significant severe considerable for 2 inch hail in the Panhandle of Texas. And then Connor's storm here going towards Matador, Texas, now warned for 2.75 inch hail and is still possible. We're keeping an eye on that little notching right in here for a potential area of rotation to increase. So we'll keep watching that. And then there's 3 areas of rotation back up in Iowa. You see one here west of Harlan, definitely one south of Harlan, and then definitely one to the southwest of Walnut, just to the northeast of Oakland in southwestern Iowa. Oops, zoom that out way too much. Still a radar indicated warning for Freedom in northwestern Oklahoma. That's the only tornado warning currently active. Let's see here. I think our main tornado threat is almost done, to be honest with you. I think we still have maybe an hour left of that peak tornado threat, and then after that, everything's going to be big-time hailers. The storm I'm a little worried for a tornado threat is in northeastern Texas. I feel like one of those in northeast Texas, the panhandle of northeast Texas, might be able to become tornadic later tonight. According to Reed, there's 5-inch hail in just to the northwest of Matador, Texas. Sure, buddy. Let me see. I'll be the judge of that. If that's true, you ain't gonna have a single piece of a windshield left. Let's see. I don't see any, like, I don't see really any hail on his stream. Let's see. Well, he definitely had some large hail. I don't know about 5-inch hail, though. I doubt it was 5-inch hail unless he got out and fully measured it. Like I said, typically you're going to be overdoing the hailstone size. That's very easy to do. And ping report of 4-inch hail, 4-inch hail, 3.25, 0.25. Yeah, buddy, I hate to tell you, but that 0.25, that's about to change when the big hail core gets to you. That dude reported 0.25. Yeah, just wait until you get into the actual updraft. This is where hail will be the largest. Right in here. That's right along the updraft base of the supercell. So in the inflow area, when you see chasers in the inflow notch, like right in here, right at inflow notch. Another thing you risk is being hit by baseball-sized hail, depending on the strength of a storm. In this case, it's definitely baseball plus sized hail, because you have that updraft right to the north. So hailstones are going up, they're freezing, and then they're falling back down. And so guess where they're going to fall at? They're not going to fall at exactly where that DBZ is. Sometimes they will, but most of the times it's to the southwest of that greatest DBZ, which is on this corner right in here. So that clear slot sometimes can have big time hail in it too. And if we go back on the radar frames here. So this was reported at 8:02 p.m. So that's 5 minutes ago. I don't know if I can go back at all on radar scope. Come on, radar scope. There you go. Yeah, so at 8:05, they were actually behind the main updraft. So notice how at 8:05, they're not in this pink DBZ, right? They're not in here. They're actually behind the main updraft where there's softball-sized hail being reported. And now it's warned for 5-inch hail. Now it is warned for 5-inch hail. There you go. So I guess there is baseball-sized hail falling out here. Or, my bad, DVD-sized. That is insane. Well, let me go ahead and dedicate a whole tweet to that. Is that observed? Wow. That is radar indicated hail right there at 5-inch in diameter. If it was observed, I would have gotten that, but radar indicated, it's crazy. Give me a moment. Wow. 5-inch hail. That was that's what I said earlier today. I said we could see up to 4.5 or 5-inch hail. Jeez. Oh, Lord have mercy. Gracious day, we probably have a big tornado about to drop down. What in the world? Let's go ahead and get our analysis radar down there right now. Jeez. It's not observed. It is radar indicated 5-inch hail. Yikes. We've had some crazy hail out here in Texas. I would be pretty careful reading these velocities because they could be no, I don't think they would be contaminated by hail. I believe this just got tornado warned.
Tornado warning for East Central Floyd County in northwestern Texas, southwestern Motley County in northwestern Texas, Floyd and Motley County in Texas.
Man. Yep, we likely have a strong tornado about to touch down here. If it's not already. And now chasers say it's on the ground. Man, this thing's moving too fast. I can't keep up. It's evolved so quickly. Give me just a moment. Yeah, strong tornado is on the ground, y'all. Man. Y'all, that might all be debris. I'm gonna be honest with you. That might be a fat wedge tornado. That might be a fat wedge tornado on the ground. Got Connor above my face cam here. Jeez. Yeah, big tornado on the ground. Very, very strong velocities here. I imagine the National Weather Service is going to end up upgrading this warning or possibly even putting a PDS on this. Thankfully, it looks like this is going to go to the southwest of Matador, Texas. Looks like it should stay to the southwest of Matador, Texas. It's in the 2% tour. Somebody go back to the stream. No, you don't have to. But at the beginning of this stream, I said I think they should expand this 5% tour to the southeast for that conditional strong tornado threat. I said that at the start of this live stream. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but I said it. And that's exactly what's happening here. Look at that velocity coupling. Gracious day. Likely a intense tornado ongoing here. Jeez. My goodness. That is definitely a strong tornado on the ground now. That, just in case, let's go through our checkbox here. So we got a hook echo, we got a couplet of rotation. There's definitely CC. There's a lot of ZDR drop, and there is definitely a bunch of spectrum width. So that is a huge tornado on the ground. Gracious day, that is insane. Just instantly hidden for saying no. Yeah, I mean, when you come into our live stream, we've got chasers who literally are observing a large stovepipe tornado, and we've got radar imagery that shows a strong, intense tornado on the ground. Then you just come in and say no. Yeah, you gonna be kicked out very quickly. Uh, honestly, I am shocked we don't have at least an observed warning here. I couldn't tell what that chaser said. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's PDS. There you go. So we now have a large and extremely dangerous confirmed tornado on the ground heading just to the southwest of Matador, Texas. This is a life-threatening situation. Please run to your safe spot now. This is a strong tornado with observed 5-inch hail. Gracious day. What a warning. 5-inch hail and a strong to intense tornado ongoing. Right near Matador, Texas. How do you spell Matador? Oh, I was right the first time. It's a T. Dude, that is crazy. Let me just show you this. This is a PDS tornado warning. A PDS tornado warning. PDS tornado warning with 5-inch hail. That is insane. Wow. Y'all just gonna let that channel name go? Come on, mods, wake up. I'm screenshotting this because that's crazy. 5-inch hail PDS tornado warning. My goodness. I know Chaser has it. I got it. I got it. Don't worry. Also, I think this storm in Freedom, northwestern Oklahoma, could also attempt to drop a tornado. All right, we're going to stay on this PDS tornado warning here. Strong tornado is on the ground. As well as DVD size tail. That's crazy. Looks like the tornado is likely rain wrap now. So we had about 150 VROT, or no, not VROT, my bad. 150 gate-to-gate rotation, which puts it at a 75 VROT, which actually makes this a violent couplet. That actually made this a violent couplet there. 75 VROT. 120. Man, I can't get it right. 150 gate-to-gate rotation with a 75 VROT. Man. So, if you didn't know, 70 plus VROT means a tornado is likely violent according to radar. And this one was at 75 VROT. And you can see all that debris there. I think most of that was just over a field. I believe this is still a very large cone tornado on the ground. Yeah, it is re-intensified again. Wow. That is crazy. It's in a very rural area. I don't believe it's lifting much more than just dirt, to be honest with you. Just dirt, trees. I don't really think there's much out here for it to lift. See if I can find this real quick. Gracious day. That is one of the most intense couplets we have seen this year. That is one of the biggest tornadoes and the strongest couplets we have seen so far this year. That is insane. This yellow, that is 90 mile an hour winds. Ben, that was downgraded to like a mile point 15. But that's why I didn't say it is the biggest. I said it's one of the. Also, keep an eye on this one in Oklahoma. It's definitely trying to re-ramp up there over Freedom. My word. There is a very destructive cell merge that is heading towards this storm. So we said it had about an hour. Now it has probably closer to 10, 15 minutes before that cell merge hits it and destroys it. All right, new tornado warning here. Unmute that.
Tornado warning for northeastern Woods County in northwestern Oklahoma, northeastern Woodward County in northwestern Oklahoma, Woods and Woodward County in Oklahoma.
That one in Oklahoma is also trying to drop a big tornado too. So that one in Oklahoma going towards Hopeton, northwest Oklahoma, trying to drop a big tornado. And then this one, which is literally maxing out velocities here. Literally maxing out velocities now. Is on the ground. Gracious day. So very strong tornado on the ground. Like I said, I do still believe this is going to miss Matador. I still believe it's going to miss Matador to the southwest. Unless there is some sudden eastward shift in this, which is possible with the cell merge. But I think it's unlikely to occur and end up going towards Matador. I believe it's going to stay to the southwest of Matador in Texas. See if I can get this real quick, y'all. All right. Be prepared to be amazed. Let me just find this real quick. Let's see here. Man. It is a huge tornado. I can't show you guys this because I just figured out I don't have permission to, so I'm going to have to share it on Twitter, and you can find it on Twitter, TRG Tornado. Once I share it on Twitter here in just a second. Yeah, that is still a huge tornado on the ground. Very large tornado still ongoing. Oops. I keep accidentally screenshotting the wrong thing. There we go. All right. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, I will give you a link in just a second. So go ahead and click that in the chat. That will bring you to my Twitter page. I highly, highly recommend you go click that link, because if you are a weather weenie, you are about to be in awe. So this is a violent tornado ongoing here to the west of Matador, Texas. It should stay to the west of Matador, Texas. Also, wouldn't be surprised if we've got another strong tornado on the ground up here. Maybe even another intense tornado on the ground up here in Freedom, Oklahoma. I'm going to go to the chaser up there. This is a tornado on the ground now. Let's see. My goodness, this is likely an intense to... possibly even a violent tornado on the ground here in Oklahoma. I believe this is a wedge tornado on the ground in Oklahoma. All right, give me just a second. I got to tweet that as well. Gracious day. This is a violent tornado in Oklahoma as well. Near Fair Valley in Oklahoma. Gracious day. We've got 2 violent tornadoes on the ground. One in Oklahoma, one in Texas. I've got too much audio in my ear right now. I gotta start muting things. Got like 6 different chaser feeds on right now and 3 different news networks. Jeez. We also have 2 more PDS severes. One is for 2.75 inch hail in Crosbyton in Central Texas. And then one is west of Perryton, Texas for 2.75 inch hail. So we've got just insane storms happening right now all over the place. 2 violent tornadoes likely still ongoing. So I'm going to take our analysis radar back over here so you can see a very intense area of rotation heading towards Targan and Fair Valley, Oklahoma. This is a large, violent wedge tornado in northwestern Oklahoma. We also have, from a last visual standpoint, a violent, large stovepipe tornado on the ground here with observed 5.2 inch hail being observed here with this storm as well. So just 2 very, very intense supercells. My word. I gotta load up this radar loop here. Yeah, so that's still a tornado ongoing there. I do think it's gonna start to fall apart, especially once it gets this cell merge here shortly. It should fall apart fast. But that one in Oklahoma still not observed. That one, that is a huge violent tornado there. And I think this is going to break apart relatively quickly as well. Both of these should break apart in the short term here. Gracious day. I think Connor has the tornado on the ground here near Matador, Texas. We'll switch over to him for a moment after I zoom it in because I do have other feeds up here. Okay, that should be good. So that is Connor's feed there. Just a very rain-wrapped, likely large cone tornado. I can't tell you if it's a wedge or not, but last I heard it was a large cone tornado here. Our little cell merge there actually went stationary, so it stopped moving northeast. So that's why it wasn't 15 minutes. It's still a good 15 minutes away from being hit by that cell merge. Our cell merge is stationary, well to the west of Roaring Springs. Jeez. Give me just a moment. Okay. So we're going to continue to watch this. Both of these tornadoes, they don't look as violent anymore. The one in Oklahoma looks significantly weaker. So that is really, really, really good. It is still on the ground in Oklahoma, but it looks significantly weaker on velocities. The one in Texas is still ongoing. The one in Texas also looks a little bit weaker as well, and the one in Texas is the one going to the west of Matador. It's just to the west of Matador, Texas. And that is what you're looking at right now, live view from Connor Croft, our chaser, who's on this storm. It has also currently been observed for 5.2-inch hail. Honestly, that one in Oklahoma, actually was probably one of the widest tornadoes. Radar estimate is velocity couplet 5 miles wide. I do not think that actually correlates to the actual tornado, but that velocity couplet was huge. I want to see what Chaser said here. Let's see. Yeah, it was rain wrap, so you couldn't make out exactly how large it was, but it looked huge. All right, there we go. Oh, that official report of 5.2-inch hail is actually from someone I know who's chasing in Texas. He's somebody I've followed for like the last year or so. I just got his I just saw his report. Man. But this one, the one in Oklahoma, y'all, that was probably one of the biggest tornadoes I've ever tracked. Now re-looking at it again. I don't know exactly. The mesocyclone was definitely one of the largest I've seen at over 5 miles wide, but actually correlating to the tornado, I don't know. There's no full visuals of that yet. There's a visual of a rain-wrapped something. Yeah, this one looks like it's probably about to lift, if not lifted, west of Matador, Texas now as it's undergoing a cell merge. All right, let's go back to our tornado warning scene here. Connor says it is lifted near just to the west of Matador, Texas. This one in Oklahoma likely trying to come back together again if it ever lifted. From this, Caden, this mesocyclone being this wide, I can tell you it is one of the largest mesocyclones I've tracked. That is not a small mesocyclone. I gotta go back to this chaser here. So that's your current radar imagery there. Okay. I bet if you contrast enhanced that, we would probably be able to see what's in there. It's definitely one of the biggest mesocyclones I've seen. I can tell you that because I'm looking right at it from a previous chaser feed. But in terms of how wide the actual tornado was, like I said, the mesocyclone was over 5 miles wide. The actual tornado, I have zero idea. Not the slightest clue. Jeez. Warning has been downgraded to 4.5-inch hail. Yeah, downgraded. Downgraded to 4.5-inch hail. And now it looks like this one's probably going to become an issue down here towards Crosbyton. I still haven't gotten that one. You could see a good hook forming on that. Yo, why is this thing performing like a moderate risk? What's up with these 5% lately? Feels more like a moderate for hail. I don't know about like a 15 sig tour though. I mean, considering we had one of the largest mesocyclones ever, and then we just had that violent tornado. Hold on, that just hit me. That sucker wasn't even into 2%. Yo. That sucker wasn't even into 2%, y'all. I just realized that. And the Matador storm was in a 2%. And this new tornado warning is in a 2% too. So, yeah, they definitely should have extended that 5% more to the southeast, like I said at the start of the stream. We've had 5-inch hail. Nope, 5.2-inch hail. A violent wedge tornado that had one of the largest mesocyclones I've ever seen in Oklahoma, not even in a 2% tour. Then we had a quite long tracked violent tornado that dropped that 5.2-inch hailstone near just to the northwest of Matador, Texas. We've had widespread 2.75-inch hail. You can see destructive severes in northern Texas here. And in this current tornado warned one too. That just had a short-lived tornado report from law enforcement. So that just dropped a tornado there. I can't even keep up anymore. Yeah, you can see that area of rotation right in here. Likely dropped a short-lived tornado for a second back here, and maybe trying to recycle and drop a stronger tornado just to the south of Crosbyton in central Texas, in the panhandle of Texas. Now a new destructive severe for spearmen in northeastern Texas in the Panhandle for 3-inch hail. 3-inch hail, 3-inch hail, 3-inch hail, 5-inch hail, 4.5-inch hail, 2.75-inch hail, 2.75-inch hail. What about this one? Even is a significant severe for 1.75-inch hail, and it's in Oklahoma. Safe to say things definitely exploded. Ooh, a special mesoscale discussion. What do we have here? What is this gonna say? Violent tornado potential and a 0% tornado risk? No, what it says is greater than 4-inch hail, a few tornadoes, possibly a strong one, and gusts up to about 70 miles per hour, all possible. Very localized giant hail threat. Giant hail. We got a special mesoscale discussion due to hail. I think that is a first for me. A special MCD for 4+ inch hail. That is probably a first for me. Man. It's so difficult to tell how large that tornado was in Oklahoma, but there's a chance it was greater than 2 miles wide. Imagine we had a 2+ mile wide tornado and a 0% tornado risk. Or less than 2% tornado risk. I mean, that is just a mesocyclone I haven't seen in a long time, if ever. Trying to figure out here. Okay, there we go. Let's go back south here. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this produced another tornado. It already produced one, but I wouldn't be shocked if it recycled, produced a second one. The one in Roaring Springs is definitely having an issue here, as it's encountering that cell merger. Jeez. But yeah, we're gonna keep watching this storm here. The southern one, I believe, is becoming the most tornadic at the moment in terms of short-term tornado potential. Now we're getting a little bit on that messier mode, which was indeed expected. 2 wedge tornadoes. What a day so far. I'm gonna be extremely curious to see what the National Weather Service surveys out here near Freedom. I'll be extremely curious to see. Because there's a chance we've seen some large mesocyclones before that end up not dropping that big of tornadoes. Mesocyclones aren't exactly correlated to the size of a tornado, but I mean, we'll see. Get to 5%. Yeah, you better extend that further south. You doggone missed. Yep, better put that 5%. Look at that! 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 Normal outlook, and then just right at the last second, yoink! Big 5% going right into Oklahoma for that single storm. Yep. There you go. Yeah, I agree with the 5% further south for sure. I also agree with them not putting like a 10 sig tour because it's likely not going to continue for much longer with these storms turning messier. But this southern storm back here, that has the best chance of producing a strong tornado in the short term now. Man. Whoa. I'm 95% sure that's just hail. Yeah. Yeah, and then this fell apart too, but look, it's going to try to recycle right here. Going towards the KAVX airport there. So we're going to stay with these two storms here as they have the best tornado potential, especially that southern one. For sure. Man, I can't wait to see the survey on that storm in Oklahoma. That's all I'm going to think about now. That's all I'm going to think about now. Because the one visual we had of that looked like an absolute huge tornado. Y'all ready to do this all over again tomorrow? That's what the HRRR 18Z wants. For some reason. I won't be here tomorrow, so if it does happen all over again, I miss. But at least I got to cover what might be one of the biggest tornadoes I've ever covered. I think the largest tornado I ever covered was 1.9 miles wide in northwestern Arkansas. What in the name of almighty? Now southwest Texas is... What in the world? Yeah. Not going to be covering that much, but just know there is a tornado warning along Highway 385. In extreme southwest Texas to the northeast of Marathon, Texas, going in the next 2 hours, eventually Sanderson, Texas. Let's see here. That was the Decatur tornado. Decatur. I forgot how you say it. May 26th, 2024. That was the largest one I've ever covered. I've actually kind of forgotten about that tornado a little bit. I got to go back and see that. May 26th. I remember this now. Yeah, still pretty broad rotation on that southern storm there, but definitely could drop a tornado in the short term here. We'll just need to keep monitoring it closely, see what happens. Yeah, that was in 2023. Yep. Matador almost got hit. Or no, it was hit by a high-end EF3. A very high-end EF3. Chasers are starting to dive for the southern one now. Whoa. Whole thing just flashed. Let me see here. All right. You know that the Decatur tornado, northwest Arkansas, that was actually the first time me and Lucky met. Like in real life, of course. And that ended up being the biggest tornado that I've ever covered. 1.8 miles wide, I believe. Oh, crap. My computer's bugged. Now I have this dumb yellow border around my screen. Great. Oh, I'm going to have that stuck for the rest of the stream. Wait, hold on. I might have a fix. I just thought of it. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. I don't know what this is going to show. Oh, I'm a genius. It worked. I'm a genius. I fixed it. Now I just got to figure out how to fix the other YouTube alert thing, this stupid bad Wi-Fi alert. I'd see you later, Caleb. Thanks for tuning in. Holy crap, it's almost 9. Yo. Chat, I was not supposed to stream past 7. I've got a lot of stuff I have to do for tomorrow. I am cooked. I've got a 9-hour drive tomorrow and I'm still covering. I'm cooked tomorrow. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. Wow, what a violent tornado. Northwest of Matador earlier. I don't even think I sent that screenshot to Lucky. TRG's is good, guys. Yep, I am. But I mean, can you really blame me? Of course I'm gonna stay up for freaking 5-inch hail. Like, holy crap, I am super glad I stayed on here. Where did I just get a text message from? Gotta love them ghost pings. Not like I said, I'm not gonna stop thinking about that tornado in Oklahoma. Because I really, really, really want to see how large that was. Go back here again. Why was this zoomed out? What does that mean? This is zoomed out too? Nope. Dumb old monitors. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go to behind my computer. I'm gonna have to see if there's any loose cables. Excuse me. Got them allergies going. What did I do to get the allergies going? Oh yeah, that's right. I broke down on the side of the road in a place that's never mowed. Let's go back down here. Little area of rotation here. Towards Roaring Springs. But this is the one that's probably going to try to drop another strong tornado. Yeah, my wheel exploded, yep. That was a fun experience. Got the car back, by the way. Got it towed to a tire place, flopped a tire on it, and I got it back this morning. Easy fix, really. Only costed like $30. I didn't get a fully new tire because I'll get that probably next year. Let's see. I don't think Connor's going to go for the Southern Storm. Let's see. What does YouTube say? At 4 seconds. Okay. I've got to fix this right after I end stream. Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Another strong tornado about a touchdown. Near Roaring Springs. Caden, you predicted that perfectly, buddy. I don't know how you knew it was going to recycle when it looked that messy, but you did. Nightbot, good job. You did your job. W Nightbot. Let's go back down to Texas. So, likely another tornado, possibly another strong one, about to drop down near Roaring Springs, Texas. Let's see. You mean the FFD? Forward flank downdraft, or do you mean the forward rear downdraft? I don't think there is a FRD, a forward rear downdraft. Yeah, that probably produced a very brief either tornado or maybe strong tornado. But it looks like that's weakening already. Connor says it's on the ground. There's something about southeast moving supercells that just... I find them astonishing. I think it's... I'm not sure exactly what storm mode is the hardest for a tornado to produce, but southeast has definitely got to be up there. Also, still tornado one up here for Hopeton, northwestern Oklahoma. Another 3-inch hail severe. You've got to be kidding me. It's crazy. Connor's got a tornado, but I don't see anything. This dude's got eagle eye vision, I swear. Oh, hold on. I see it. I see it. I got 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 it. You guys get over here right now. Right there. Ah, bruh. Right there. His camera's moving. I gotta go pause it. Right there. You gotta look from away your screen. You gotta go further away. You can see it a bit easier. A new tornado warning for Texas. That's the southern storm still radar indicated. 4-inch hail on the southern storm now. 4-inch hail on the southern storm now. Faintest color difference equals tornado. Yup. You bet you, Caden. That's how it goes. Exactly. You already know. Now it's probably lifted now. I can't tell from this far. See the gray? See the gray instead of the gray? That's where our tornado is. That's exactly how it is trying to spot a rain wrap tornado in a supercell. We'll see what the HRRR has for tomorrow. The new 00Z is rendering in now. Connor is saying a big cone, but I don't think it is on the ground anymore. Well, Chaser just said it is on the ground, so I don't think it's as big as what it was, though. I mean, you can't see anything in there. All I see is what looks like the sunshine mixed in with some rain. But yeah, when I'm down in Talladega, I'll definitely do a few community posts on the severe threat. Maybe one a day or so, just to keep you guys updated. Because I'll still have my phone. Yeah, I think it's still on the ground. I just don't think it's as large. So still likely a weak tornado now. I don't think it's a strong or large tornado like it was before. But likely still a weak tornado on the ground here west of Roaring Springs, Texas. Likely going to see a tornado touchdown shortly near Canyon Valley in Central Texas as well. Oklahoma storm is trying to produce another tornado, but it's probably going to fail, at least in the short term. Go back here, show you what I'm talking about. So this is your hook on your Oklahoma storm. So you have your RFD back here, turns into your forward flank downdraft here. Then you have your flanking line of convection, your inflow notch right here. And notice how small that inflow notch is. And of course you have the base of your actual hail core back up in here. So you've got just a small inflow notch. And if that inflow notch closes, then you're not going to be able to see strong winds try to rotate this thunderstorm. Unless it does a recycle, which is definitely possible. Still possibly a tornado on the ground here near Roaring Springs. That is not a large cone, but there is a cone tornado on the ground here, still west of Roaring Springs. When I think large cone, I think like this. That's what I think is like a large cone, right? So still a tornado on the ground here west of Roaring Springs. New tornado warning back up here in Oklahoma. Pretty much nearly in the same spot, but for 48 more minutes. Be pretty surprised if this southern storm isn't on the ground. But we'll keep monitoring that. It's likely about to be or is on the ground here near Canyon Valley, Texas. Yeah, it looks like that tornado on the northern cell here in Texas near Roaring Springs is roping out. It's almost gone. I think we've had like, I'd say at least 10 tornadoes today. Where's this warning at? Oh, it's an extension. Radar indicated for Roaring Springs, Texas. I really want to see what the 00ZH has to show before I gotta go. Because I can't stream too much longer. I am not ready for tomorrow at all, so I'm in trouble if I don't get out of here shortly. But I'm going to try to cover as long as possible. It's still a very weak tornado on the ground here in west of Roaring Springs, Texas. I know, Caden. I'm watching it. Let's see. So we are to 17Z on the HRRR tomorrow. We got to get to at least 02Z. Still large hail on both of these storms here. Not as large, though. Used to be 5.5 inch hail. Or rather 5 inch hail. Wasn't 5.5, it was 5.2. 5.2 inch hail. Still trying to tighten back up here in Oklahoma. Wouldn't be surprised if that's very close to, if not possibly on the ground there, east of Fair Valley in Oklahoma. We've gotten a little bit lower on destructive severes. We're down to just 1. Whereas before, I think at one point we got up to almost 6 destructive severes with that PDS tornado warning in Texas. So this is our last destructive severe storm for 3-inch hail. I believe this just went, yep, observed. So that is now a confirmed tornado warning on our southern storm. No shocker whatsoever there. Definitely produced a tornado just moments ago with that tight of a couplet. No shocker there at all. And that same type of couplet, very gate to gate, also up here in Oklahoma. A little bit weaker than the one that just produced a tornado in Texas. But it just still could be producing a tornado here. This one is in actually Oklahoma. Good news is the 00Z HRRR downtrended a bunch on instability for tomorrow. Depends when you left. Thank you for the $2 donation, but it depends when you left. That storm can't go for too much longer in Oklahoma, right? Right? I hope it ain't 2024 all over again where a storm in Oklahoma just manages to survive for 10 hours straight in a poorly sheared environment. Connor's starting to get hit by hail now. He fell behind a bit. Let's hope tomorrow won't be nearly as bad as today. I don't think it will be, but I do think it will go at least slight risk tomorrow. I think our most inactive day will be on Saturday. And then Sunday, we got that conditional strong tornado threat. And then on Monday, of course, we have what's likely going to be our tornado outbreak. And then Tuesday, we'll have what's likely going to end up being at least a few tornadoes being possible. Haven't seen reports of damage, but I've seen plenty tornado reports. Most of the tornadoes that I've seen today have occurred out in just fields. I wonder if these storms up here in Texas are going to be able to go tornadic at all. In the northern panhandle of Texas. Because that's what our primary 5% tornado risk was for. They're still well into that 5%. And they've got a long way to go, too. I think there will eventually be a moderate risk on Monday if the trend stays where it is right now. But if we see any type of downtrends, then they probably won't end up. But either way, just make sure you're paying attention to it if you're in the risk area on Monday. I don't think Tuesday has a chance to go moderate. Tuesday doesn't have nearly as good of a setup, in my opinion. Not even remotely close. So these storms are leaving a sheared environment. Fingers crossed that allows them to die out. They are also entering a... they're still in a very favorable environment, moisture-wise. So really just shear is going to be what they lose over the last... or rather, over the next hour or so. I think these storms will be done around 11 o'clock, and at 11 o'clock, we'll mainly just have those storms in western Oklahoma and northern Oklahoma left to deal with. I appreciate you guys hitting that like button up to 100 likes. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support today on this, what was supposed to be a 1-hour briefing, because I really shouldn't have gone over an hour, but like I said, I'm glad I did. My parents ain't fussed at me yet. Well, then again, I don't have my phone. It's over here. Uh-oh, there's a text message. I'm cooked. Okay, I'm good. It's a scammer. Never mind, I'm good. Let's see here. Ooh, do I spy a book in Vortex? Hold on. See, this is the stuff that piques my interest. Book in Vortex! Book in Vortex! So you see the old hook occludes, and then it actually turns into a book in Vortex here on the west side of your supercell. This is where your hook normally is. This is where your hook actually is. So you've got a book-in vortex storm here. Looks very, very weird. This is where your tornado would be located. So you definitely got a good old book-in vortex there. I can't tell you how many of those I saw in Oklahoma last year, but I haven't seen a really, really good one yet in Oklahoma this year. That's still not a really good one. That's an okay one. But it's not a really good book-in vortex. Could still produce a quick, brief spin-up tornado, and it just broke apart right there, so I doubt it did anything. But that was a book-in vortex there. Still observed a tornado out here in, well, there's no town names, northwest of Post. It also has radar indicated 4-inch hail. Actually, it doesn't say radar indicated 4-inch hail. It doesn't even say what hail. It just says confirmed tornado, and it just says hail size 4-inch. It doesn't say radar indicated hail or observed hail. 4 tornado warnings left, and they are all on different storms. We have the one well south of Fort Stockton. We have the one that is northeast of Post that we just looked at. And then the one that produced like 3 or 4 tornadoes here, now currently over Roaring Springs. And then we have one more back up in Oklahoma with that book and vortex. That is for Alva, Oklahoma. It looks like both of these southern storms out here in the central. Actually, now we're really exiting the panhandle of Texas. Looks like both of them are trying to recycle. So we'll see if they can do it. See if they can recycle or not. Whilst we wait for the HRRR to finish rendering in here. The HRRR has multiple discrete supercells firing tomorrow, but you got to look a little bit deeper than just the simulated reflectivity. If you look a little bit deeper, you will be able to tell that the HRRR actually has very low dew points for tomorrow. So I don't think many of those will be tornadic, but tomorrow night towards about 8 p.m. Eastern time, we could definitely see a few tornadoes, possibly an isolated strong tornado around Amarillo, Texas, somewhere in here around 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. According to the new HRRR, we could see a tornado or two and maybe a strong tornado, but the main threat tomorrow will probably be very large hail up to 3-inch in diameter. How many destructives? I can't even tell you. I would say probably at least 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I would say 10 or 11 destructives. But at one point, they actually took off the destructive severe and just left it as a tornado warning. And that's what they've done here too. So even though it's not a severe storm, it's actually still warned for 2-inch hail. I think this storm is going to become a long-tracked issue for western Oklahoma. Don't know about a good tornado threat, but at least a spin-up tornado threat can't be ruled out with that. Yeah, HRRR definitely has a chance for some huge hail tomorrow and a few tornadoes, maybe 1 or 2 strong. Pretty much exactly like today, but a little bit less of a hail threat and a little bit less of a strong tornado threat. But tomorrow could definitely, it could definitely play out just as bad as today. We'll see if they go enhanced for tomorrow. Right now, it's only a marginal. I expect they'll at least upgrade to a slight. Thank you, Legacy. I will need it. That is for sure. I will need it for sure. Oh, also, I rewatched the April 27th, 2011 Super Outbreak video that I made like 3 days ago at this point, and it is good to go. So that will be premiering at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. So only about 3 days away from that premiering. For the rest of the night, ingredients continue to go down. We continue to see a more capped environment, so hail will remain the biggest issue along with damaging winds and a spin-up tornado or two being possible. I do believe we've covered the peak event. So from here on out, we should start to see storms slowly die out. And then around, I think closer to 11 o'clock, about an hour and a half from now, Eastern Time, these storms will relatively be died out. Maybe except for 1 or 2 long track supercells in northern Texas going into western Oklahoma. What an outbreak, man. It's not fully over, though. I think we can call this a tornado outbreak, a regional tornado outbreak, because these storms, one, two, three, four, five, six. I'd say these two storms alone produced about five, six tornadoes. So I'm gonna call this a regional tornado outbreak in the title. Just remembered my thumbnail. My thumbnail is for Monday and Tuesday's event. So it's because it was supposed to be a 1 hour briefing, but storms fired early and then they started exploding right when I was going to end. Yep, we had two violent tornadoes, Catman, potentially one of the largest mesocyclones I've seen in northwestern Oklahoma. And it might have, according to a chaser, I mean, it might have been one of the biggest tornadoes that we've seen, but I wouldn't be so sure. That, like I said, that's up to the National Weather Service to survey and figure out. We'll have to see what they say. That's going to be what I wait for the most. I'm going to be waiting for that. I'm ready to see that National Weather Service survey. That probably won't be done for like another 2 days or so, but hey, that's okay. It takes time. It probably was Ben because it didn't look like it hit much. No. You're mistaken, Sam. 2025 is the day. That's the day after 2024. So we're actually just still stuck in 2024. Yes, I know I said day. I said that on purpose. What did a chaser just... Chaser just said, "What up, nerd?" I don't know why, but I love the word nerd. I don't get offended when my friends call me a nerd. In my opinion, it means you're smart. I'm confusing you. It was made to confuse you. All right, well, we're not going to be live here for too much longer because I have a lot to do. I apologize. I'm not able to cover longer. I didn't expect to cover at all today, so I'm lucky I even was able to cover a bit. But I have to go talk to my family before they go to sleep, and I'm sure most of them are probably going to sleep early tonight. So I got to go see what they're up to. I have a lot to do. I have not started any process for tomorrow, so. And we got to be out of here probably around 1, maybe noon. So I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I won't be back tonight unless it is like if there's 3 tornado emergencies, I think I will be back on tonight. But I think that's the only way how I'm going to get back on tonight because I have a lot to do. I got to get a lot done. So basically I just said something that's legit impossible. The only time I remember 3 tornado emergencies was April 26th, 2024, of course. Last time we saw like 3 Tories at once. That was insane. We won't get those till tomorrow, and also, I'm not wishing for that, Ben. Are you insane? When did I say that? I would never. But yeah, we're not going to get those ratings until tomorrow, and as well as on day after tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow and Saturday, we'll start to get those. So I don't plan to be back tonight. I'm turning off my computer. I'm gonna fix it. I'm going to fix this weird bug on YouTube. I'm going to check all the HDMI connections, and then I am turning this sucker off probably for the next 4 days, all the way till Monday. There's a good chance I'll have it on Monday night, but I don't know if I'll be live. I don't know if I will be able to stream Monday night, because that 9-hour drive is going to be murderous on the way back. Having to go to Talladega all day Sunday. We're going to be up at like 8 a.m. on Sunday, and then we got to get to the Speedway, which it's not going to be that far. And so we'll be at the track all day Sunday. And then I won't be home till like 9 or so p.m. Or to the hotel, I should say. 9 p.m. Sunday. And then we'll get up at probably 8 a.m. and then attempt to be home towards 8 p.m. or so. 7, maybe 7 p.m. Monday. We'll see how it goes. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated in the community post. I'll be live when I'm live next. The next planned live stream is Tuesday. That's the next live stream I can guarantee. We'll be live on Tuesday. That's the next guaranteed live stream. And definitely a possible live stream on Monday, depending on when I get home. Tomorrow, I will not be live. Saturday, I will not be live. Sunday, I will not be live. But Sunday, to compensate for all those missed live streams, Sunday, April 27th, 2011, Super Outbreak case study will be out 3 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central. That will premiere. I won't be in that premiere because, like I said, I'll be at the track. So, let me see. Still under Destructive Severe for 9 more minutes there. That will be canceled right when we end. No good areas of rotation on either one of those tornado warnings. Nothing good on this one. So, it looks like they've died out for rotation, but I would not be shocked if right after I end, they re-intensify and we might see another tornado or two pretty much right after I end, which would be a very good example of a TRG effect and TRG moment right there. Let me see if that's the same for me. Nope, it's fine over here. Stuck on 21Z. Wait, hold on a second. You might be right. Wait. I don't think it's supposed to be rendering in right now, Catman. I don't know when 0Z comes in on the wrap. It should be soon. Considering 21Z isn't even done loading, I think you're correct. It's not even finished rendering in. Well, to recap what we had today, we had 60, 65 mile-an-hour winds. We had 2 likely violent tornadoes, but thankfully barely hit anything, so they will probably be rated significantly lower than that. We had a 5-mile wide mesocyclone, which I couldn't tell how big the tornado was, but it was definitely a big wedge. I just can't tell you exactly how wide it was. We had observed 5.2-inch hail, multiple 4-inch hail events, multiple 3-inch hail events. And we had, can't forget that. We had a tornado in Colorado. We had a tornado in Louisiana. We had a tornado in Iowa. We had a tornado in Nebraska. We had a tornado in, I think, maybe South Central Kansas. Tornado in Oklahoma. And then those tornadoes in Texas as well. We had tornadoes, felt like everywhere, to be honest with you. Felt like pretty much everywhere. We had tornadoes all over the place. So I think we had about 15 tornadoes overall today, 8 of which were probably in the panhandle of Texas alone. So that's why I'm going to call this a small-scale tornado outbreak. Once I'm done with this stream, I'll title it a small-scale tornado outbreak, because that's what I believe it was, with about around the realms of 7 tornadoes in a regional area. But like I said, I'm going to head off here shortly. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday as well. At least going to be a good solid 3 days before I see you guys next. Outside of that super outbreak video on Sunday. So 3 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, April 27th, 14th anniversary of the April 27th, 2011 super outbreak. That case study will be out. I don't want to switch to the ending screen too early. I appreciate mods for modding chat. I appreciate every last one of you guys for tuning in. Also, Brody for the $6 today and super chats. I appreciate that. I'm probably, don't mark my words on this, but I'm going to try to gift 10 free memberships at the end of this live stream. If it doesn't let me, it doesn't let me. I'm going to attempt it at the end of this live stream because they should reset. They should reset by the time I am back. They normally reset at the last few days of a given month. So should hopefully have 10 free memberships to gift. If not, then oops. Maybe next time, whatever, YouTube decides to give me 10 more. And again, I will see you guys probably Tuesday, but it is possible I have enough energy to be live on Monday's Outbreak. And then, of course, the April 27th, 2011 Super Outbreak video will be out 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, April 27th here. Let's see. Yeah, still the same severes there. Still 3-inch hail, destructive severe. Tornado warning observed for 4-inch hail as well. But those will expire here shortly. I don't believe they're going to continue that southern tornado warning. It looks like they're going to let that expire in 4 minutes. They just issued a new severe. And the one in Oklahoma, unsure about that, but they did issue a new severe. I don't know if they're going to let that expire or not, but just make sure you stay weather aware if you're in the risk area tonight. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings. I think we did just get a new destructive, if I can take a quick look at that. Oh yeah, a whole entire hour destructive severe here on the southern tornado warning for 4-inch hail. Look at that in the background. 4-inch hail for the next hour, so still some large hail. But I'll see you guys in definitely Tuesday's live stream or whenever I'm live next, possibly Monday. Stay safe, watch severe weather, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, possibly Monday. Thank you much for on chat. Have a great rest of your night as well.